Hello. Ow, my ankle. Why is my ankle hurting? That's rude. Owie. Hello. The server shit itself, so I don't know where to go. My car is parked at City Hall. Is it the bus station to go to PD? Yes. Because we were all at PD. I'm gonna run. It's a complete server reset, so I'm just gonna run to PD and hope that this is where everybody is. What? Law school nerds MRPD. Oh my god. Love that for us. Because my car is at the courthouse parked, so I didn't want to go home. I mean, I could have probably borrowed Castle's car. It feels weird knowing that I'm not going to just be able to call him Castle anymore, because once they get married, like, technically she'll be Castle, so who am I referring to when I say Castle? It could be either of them. So I'm gonna have to... sorry. So I'll have to start calling her, like, calling him John, which is so cringe. That was a pleasant nap.
Oh, at least you made it back. You woke back up.
Hi, Daddy.
All those creamy three-ways just put everyone to sleep.
Yeah, it seems like it. Thank you, Croyd, I think it is. Thank you so much for the subscription for 4 months. Thank you. So yeah, we are in law school. Day... Oh, I just realized I need to open this up. Day 3. Having my Legally Blonde moment. I watched Legally Blonde last night and was like, channeling it. Channeling it. Gonna channel it.
I mean, we only had 3 or 4 today, right? Anyway, we had you two, we had Ava, and we had, I don't remember his name, gray hair.
Yeah.
Roman,
that's right.
Yeah, there was only 4. Let's see if anybody woke up later.
Hello, Your Excellencies.
It's not Majesty.
All right.
Hello.
hey,
Hello, ma'am. What's this?
I'm giving tours. Law school.
It is law school?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the one lesson you don't need.
Okay.
I'm so nervous just being at law school in general because it is very overwhelming.
At least she finally stopped saying Majesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chatterbox is infectious.
This is Jenny. What's up?
I just got a call from Bobby Charles.
Oh, yeah? Was he asking if something would violate his parole?
Absolutely, it was.
Hey guys.
Yep.
Look, this is
Sounds
kind of
about right.
sound really ironic because I gotta go downstairs to the cells because they're asking for a command member.
Ooh.
Oh.
Very well.
Does that have to do with the ping that we all just got?
Is it Billy?
Yeah.
Yep.
You looking for a lawyer
Alright.
too?
Guess so.
Do you think a legal aid would do?
I think you guys all coming down here would be perfect.
Amazing. Okay.
Fantastic. If you guys want to start down, I can wait for any stragglers.
What do you want, Zoe?
Hello, ladies and gents. You are
Oh,
all
nothing.
gonna be coming to help me with Billy Sprinkles. When you
Oh
get to
my
the front
god, this
desk,
is perfect.
I need you to literally signing all your equipment, your phones as well at the front desk. please. Thank you.
Please do that.
Are
Okay.
you guys all coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. This is great. This is actually perfect.
You all
Dropping
good?
my
Just coming
things
over to
here.
me. Thank you.
Go.
Okay, perfect. Let's go on in.
I'm bringing the ice cream.
Alright, perfect. So this is going to be the direct route down to the cells you're going to be taking every time. Welcome to Mission Row. This is the bullpen. We don't allow nerds in the bullpen, which means you guys are banned for it. This is the changing room that you may sometimes be allowed to go in, but mostly not. And that goes to upstairs. That goes to our room. That goes to the armory. This goes downstairs.
While you are making this walk, the officer will generally be filling you in on what the fuck happened. At least the charges, right? You will be getting information downloaded at you. Be prepared to remember everything you hear.
This is one of the two speaking spots that you'll probably have. You may sometimes go up to that side of the stairs, but these are the places where we're going to stand and tell you basically everything that happened from our perspective on what you will be dealing with. However, the other spot will be inside these doors, where we'll stand outside the doors.
This
because
is
apparently if you whisper-
absolutely essential, and you need to listen to everything that's being said.
Right here, you can hear in, but if you whisper, no one can hear you in there. This is going to be the main place where you're going to stand with the officers, and they're going to talk to you about what's going on, and then they're going to be like, "Hey, would you like to come see your client?" I believe that we had the cop just a second ago who was dealing with this, so I don't know where the hell they just went.
Okay, there were lots of conversations yesterday about conflict of interest and things. If there's multiple clients in there, the officer will tell you there's multiple people asking for lawyers. The officer may, if you've got somebody like Jenny who knows what the fuck they're doing, be able to tell you or highlight if there's any possible conflict of interest before you even walk in, right? If their stories are differing, if anything like that's happening, the red flags start popping off, the officer might be able to help you highlight that before you even get there, right? But write down everything they say, know what the charges are so you can inform your client of the charges, right? Write down a version of the PD's version of events, and then you can assess your client's version of events for conflicts and differences that you can then discuss back with PD when it's your turn, right?
Ladies and gents, meet all your legal aids. They're all trading lawyers.
Okay.
They're going to be the ones working with you today.
I'll go back on duty then.
Perfect.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, we couldn't get hold of a lawyer. We want a lawyer, wants a he wants a bench trial, wants all sorts.
Right,
What's
you
that?
wanna start-
Spicy. Oh, here's another one.
All right.
Judges, if you want to step out because they're about to probably conflict you all, you can. If not,
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
thank you very much.
Okay, you're in their hunt. Behave.
Okay. What?
Gotcha.
So,
Just-
Yep. So the judges have left
No.
because basically, if we say all this to you, they cannot know, because if he wants a bench trial and they hear
Sorry.
any of this information, they are immediately conflicted. So if you have any questions about a case, you have to make sure that whichever judge you're going to understands that they may possibly conflict out a bench trial, which is why we have sent them away this time, but they are not. All right, guys, take it away.
Copy. Thank you, ma'am. Should we also get Tony in here too?
Whatever you need to give the lawyers their all the information they need.
Gotcha. Let me get Tony.
Alan, you know what's going on?
I do, but he also.
I have no idea what's happening. I'm panicking.
All right.
Oh, no,
So we
no,
have
no.
Billy Sprinkle in there. He's being charged with attempted murder of a government employee, and reckless evading. So, he was. There was an altercation at the vault. Deputy Compleon was struck down by Billy Sprinkle. Officer Tony saw it he did it with a hatchet, and Billy Sprinkle fled on a bike. He was shortly taken down. He was gunned down at the corner of the Occupation and Elgin off his bike. So he was given medical treatment, and now we're here. So he's facing 63 months up at Bolingbrook and a $7,200 fine.
He basically isn't fighting his charges as such. He's more fighting it because he says that it's self-defense, because apparently Cochleon shot his bike tire out.
You guys have any questions before we go in?
No, I want to talk to him.
Perfect. Come on in.
I'm panicking.
Tonight, baby, I want it. Hello, Jenny.
Mr.
Aaron?
Oh.
I am here as command, and then I have
Yes.
3
Pardon?
brand new spanking training lawyers here for you. 3 of them, not just 1, 3.
Hello, training lawyers. I am Dr. Billy Sprinkle, removed from doctorism. I am a mentalist, but Jenny, there has been a catastrophe. I want to give you.
Okay.
It's a catastrophe. I got a complaint about Cop Leon, or as I'm gonna
Okay.
call him, Cop laying on the floor, Leon.
Mhm.
What? I'm gonna give you my detailed description of what happened. So
Okay.
I pulled up, driving up north to the bank. He had his door open, so I hit it with my bike, and I said, "What you doing, dickhead? First thing you do when you get in the car is close my door." Do you know? And he was like, "Okay, well, I was trying to get in the car and I couldn't." I was like, "What are you talking about?" We exchanged words. I made a general comment about releasing semen on his chin or something like that. He got all pissy and went, all right then, pal. I went into the bank. As I knew what he was playing, Jenny, because I knows these people every day. I live
I
by
know,
bullies. As I'm in there, I peek out the door like this. I see him trying to blast. He starts shooting me front wheel of my bike, and I ain't having that, because I ain't got shit, Jenny. All I got is a house full of trash, which I brought from the outside in. And then I was like, right, I ain't having that. So, yes, I lunged him, and I hit him with a hatchet, because it was right. He got in his little car then, drove forward a bit, because he was like, get away. And I was like, yeah. And I lunged, hit him again. Right, yeah, very bad. I know. Don't hit cops. I got that.
Yeah.
And then I drove off on my bike because I knocked him out and laughed, told him to lick my balls. Then as I was driving away, quite clearly the officers can see I did not have a rear wheel. Did I? Anyone here? That's right. Didn't
Was
have a
missing
rear
back
wheel. That's the rear wheel, Aaron.
That's
Keep
what I'm
up.
saying.
And then I was shotted because he escalated. Well, he didn't escalate. He shit stirred, and I've got a complaint against him now.
Well, you know what, Billy? I have absolutely taken note of your entire complaint, and I do think it is a complaint. And I will go forward and understand why he chose to do that. However, Mr. Sprinkles, you do know that you need to not retaliate, man.
He shouldn't have done it to begin with. I'm an ex-gang leader, angry hobo.
I agree, but Billy, this sounds like you get in trouble, man. Because if you'd have just been like, "Oh my God, that was a shitty thing to do," and got away, and then you'd have come to me, I'd have been like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he did that."
Streets don't work that way, Jenny. With all respect to you.
Work. I know they don't, but I really wish they did because I could help you, and I really want to help you, and I will still help you. And I'm gonna be going to see what the hell happened and why he did that to you, and see if he actually did behave inappropriately, Mr. Sprinkles. However, you are still in trouble, man. I know he did. I
don't care about that. He shot my bike, who I named Chris Martin from Coldplay because he's got funny wing mirrors like his ears. He shot it, right? And then because he got his feelings hurt. I can't remember the jokes I made to him, but they were really funny at the time.
Okay, no, I believe you. And you know what? I will go speak to him, and I will go deal with this, Mr. Sprinkles.
Good.
I do believe you.
Thank you.
I do think that you have been playing a horrible position. So I'm going to step back. Yeah?
I swear I've been for like months. I've been learning law and stuff because everyone used to call me Solomon when I came here. Because I was another guy who looked like me called Solomon who was a lawyer. And this dirty Mike who sounds a lot like
I remember that,
crazy Eugene, but he's not. Well, I'm smart now, so all you lawyers best learn I was one of the best. Billy knows this shit.
Yep. Well, they're here to help you, Mr. Sprinkles. So I'm going to step back and let them.
Thank you. And there's a cop who got a carrot top head, by the way. He can verify that shots were fired before the radio call for help was given. Therefore, proving my exoneration of the cop Lipone shooting me wheel.
Understood. I will look into it, okay?
Thank you, Jenny.
Sure.
How are you otherwise, love? I hear
I
you're
am
Jenny
absolutely
now.
good. I am. My rank is Trooper Sergeant Jenny.
That's
and it
sick.
basically means I have no boss. I am my
I'm
boss.
gonna call myself Billy now. Why is there so many lawyers here for me?
Because they're training And you are a great person to train with.
I'm amazing.
You are. And so we think that with you, you'll be able to really help these lawyers understand how to fight their charges and be able to give the best response we can.
Okay, first off, lawyers lie about everything that benefits me, okay?
I'm going to step back for this one, Mr. Sprinkles. All right, guys, you want to give him some
Where
space?
do I start? There's loads of them.
So, well, you can, whoever wants to take forward. We are going to be outside in the corridor. I'm not involved in this, so my officers will be out in the circle. I'm going to be just here by the door. I'm not listening. I don't anything, but this is where we would leave you. And usually you could either 311 or shout really loud and we'll run back in. So
I'll
take your
shout
time,
really
Mrs.
loud.
Sprinkles. Okay,
I'll shout
perfect.
and shout.
All right, thanks,
Perfect.
Jenny.
That is amazing.
That was a good one.
Keep it up. That was great.
All right, guys, we've
hi,
got
Billy.
a slam dunk right now.
All right, so my name is Grace Daniels. I'm already an attorney, and the rest of the group here is their legal aides and looking to become attorneys. So I guess the first thing we should do, what do you guys think the first thing we should do is?
I would like to hear him retell it again.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. If he didn't shoot my bike, I wouldn't have hatcheted him. It's cause and effect. That's rule number 7 in the judicial code.
The thing here is, you already told this story that you hatcheted him in front of the other officers, so you kind of already admitted to it. So anything you can do now is do a civil suit afterwards and sue the guy.
Fuck. I didn't say I was a good lawyer. I watched Judge Judy a couple of times because I used to date her in the 80s, but she threw me out because I kept she got a motorhome and I kept turning the engine on when she was sleeping. She'd wake up in a random island.
Because ideally here, you're getting 2 charges, which one you already fully admitted to, and the second one is really easy to articulate for them, so...
Yeah, but
I would
I
just
admitted
take
it
the
under
charges as
duress,
is.
didn't I?
And probably say not guilty, but you would probably want to sue the guy afterwards.
But Jenny won't
Yeah.
snitch because Jenny's cool. So if I say I'm guilty in front of Jenny, she ain't gonna listen to that. She ain't
Yeah,
gonna
but there
listen
was
to
more
it.
officers in here.
Yeah, there were two
Yeah.
other
Yeah, there were two
officers
other
over by
officers.
the gate
Right.
there when I
I
walked.
But I
wasn't
think-
paying attention then, so they can't do anything about it.
I think some
Pretty
people
sure they
weren't
can.
here to hear the whole story, but
Fuck.
one thing I would really like to do, if we can, is to have you go over it one more time and also
Yes.
see if we can potentially, even though they heard it, lower the charges, because from what I heard, if I got it right, the officer involved that got hatcheted kind of instigated things first. Like if I got it right.
Yeah.
So if it's one of those situations where if he hadn't done what he did, then he wouldn't have done what he did. So in
Exactly.
that, we might be able to get the charges lowered at least.
But look
But
at
you
me.
did admit to some, so you have to kind of think you're going to have to take something.
All right,
but-
I'll give it. This is what happened. I was driving up
Yeah.
north, go to the bank to get my massive paycheck because when I go away for 6 months, I get given like $100 billion.
Nice.
As I was going up north, his car door was open and I collided with it with my BF 400, which was in perfect operational condition when I did it. When I did that, I pulled over in front of him. I called him a bold prick or something like this, told him, what you doing? Why don't you close your doors? First thing you're supposed to do is close your doors. He got out, started waffling on about me. I made a series of hilarious insults, which I unfortunately can't remember. Then I ended with a joke about coming on his chin. Yes, it's vulgar, but look at me. As I entered to the bank, he went, okay, guy. Like he was planning something. I went in the bank, and I know people. I know what they up to 24/7. I lived my whole life with bullies. So this motherfucker, I knew he's gonna bust my wheel. Lo and behold, I look outside. What's he doing? Anyone want to guess?
He was busting your wheel.
He was busting my wheels.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm like, I ain't taking that, because I a Southside gangster, and back in the days of lords and ladies, we were valued for our great diversity and interesting personalities, rather than being a bunch of S+ losers. So I pulled out my hatchet, swung it like a windmill in the Devon forest, hit him on the head. He pussied out, got in his car, reversed back to get distance because he's scared of me, but it didn't do enough. So I lunged again, squack, hit him on the head. It dropped like a parachute with had holes in. I then am like, ah, shit. The ginger guy with the carrot top head ends up rolling up. I got on my bike. Obviously, the wheel's knackered because he shot it, which officers would quite clearly find that there were bullets on scene, indicating that somebody used a firearm upon my wheel. And then I wheelied off, trying to get away, and these bastards shot at me just outside the fleeker. That's it. That's the whole shebang.
So they shot you down as you were leaving?
As I fled, which, yes, I was a fleeing felon, but I wouldn't have been if he didn't start it.
I mean, that's fair, but I'm not necessarily sure a judge will consider that argument.
I know a guy who can grease the wheels. Don't worry.
Oh, is he gonna throw a bunch of money at him?
Tell us that.
Oh,
yeah. That's not something you're supposed to tell us. We're not supposed to
I'm
let
not
you...
going to bribe him. Just going to get someone else to, and then that's not on me, is it? That's how the law works. Why I keep whistling? I'm trying to do this. So what can we do? Civil suit for him being a dick and get him investigated about?
You can't do the civil suit. Go ahead.
What I think we can do is
Speak up, my dear. Can't hear you, deaf as fuck.
Well, what we can do, maybe we can articulate with the officers, maybe lower the charge from attempted murder to assault with a deadly. And from there, I think you can go for a civil suit. If they lower the charge, you can maybe throw in a guilty, because, you know, it would look better for you when you go for the civil suit.
Because I saw blood. It's not my fault. I'm naturally
Assault with
angry.
a deadly would make sense here.
I agree with lawyer number 3.
Yeah.
Got
And,
6 lawyers. This is sick.
Right.
What is the definition?
I do think Rail does have a good strategy there. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
What is the definition of reckless evading?
Reckless evading is when you are not just evading, but you are disregarding traffic rules, other people's safety, etc., in your evasion of police.
Question: does that apply if I was fearful for my life from police brutality? As it's quite clearly been documented throughout the last few weeks that police shoot people for surrendering and for fleeing and anything. I was scared because I had shots fired on my bike.
Can I ask a question about the reckless evading part? You were on a disabled bicycle, correct?
Motorcycle
I think.
with a
motorcycle?
destroyed rear wheel.
Okay. Were you able to maneuver the bike properly?
Yes and
At all?
no. It was very, very difficult. I couldn't get it above 40 miles an hour, so I wouldn't consider that reckless.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking too, because I've been on a bike that was damaged, and you can't really go that fast, and unless people are like right there, it's hard to like be in a danger for that.
Yeah,
So
like how
maybe
can
we can
That's
get
the, I
that
couldn't get
knocked
away
down.
because he disabled my getaway vehicle.
Yeah, it's like
How far
if
did you
the-
even get away from the initial scene?
I went up, right, past pictures, and then down. No, not past pictures. Yeah, I went up, right, past Bryce's store, and then down to the
Okay.
Fleeca Bank, which everyone steals from.
Okay.
On Haywick?
Yes, Horwick.
But that's not
When-
too far.
That's not. And when you were trying to go, did they pit you at all? Did any of the
Yeah.
police car? They did. Okay, so they were probably the ones causing the danger to the public or anyone else on the jeep, because he probably couldn't do that alone with
Exactly.
his vehicle. Getting pitted would send his vehicle flying or spinning out of his control. So for me, I would try to get the attempted murder down to assault or something like that, and have the reckless evading reduced to something else as well. And I agree with my co-counsel that
Rail.
try to go for any kind of thing in a civil suit later, because I
Let's
don't think you're gonna
go.
win that.
Omega
Just what I
lawyer
think.
team.
Yeah, we can also try to make the argument with them that the evading was reckless because of their actions, not
Right.
because of his. And maybe even get that down to just regular evading instead of reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Assault
because
with
if
a
we
deadly and
can,
evading
yeah.
is the best chance.
Yeah. And take anything else up after in a civil
Listen,
suit.
I'm gonna hook you all up with the best weed after this. The best you can get.
I don't
My
smoke.
stuff was My
Neither
stuff
do
was the
I.
best before everyone else's. I started the weed game well before Pigeon. Trust me. I'll make your toes curl and your hair crinkle, so you's gonna look like a fuzzy doll, you is.
Okay. Well, damn.
Not a troll. The ones that have straight hair, don't they? I don't
Kind
know
of,
my
yeah.
I don't know my 90s era's toys. But thank you, everyone.
Of course.
Thank
All right.
you.
So if we can get those charges reduced, are you going to plead guilty or not guilty?
What would you advise?
Rael
then-
did have a point about, it might look better for the civil case if you've pled guilty. However,
Mhm.
the civil case does come later. So if you wanted to try a bench trial and, get the charges reduced, now, if they
I
don't
will-
agree, we could do that.
I think I've already kind of pleaded guilty, and I did do it because it was funny. So
Okay.
yeah, I admit the brutality, but later down the line, it's like, well, look, I couldn't help because he was tickling me gooch.
Yeah, but we're not saying you didn't do it. We're only saying that you did it as hard as they think you did.
Not
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
level
the
that they're
charges don't
claiming,
fit.
right?
It was a
What-
knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
What I would
Evading
say,
as opposed to reckless evading and assault instead of attempted murder.
what I would say is, try to lower them with them now. If they don't, clean up or bench trial it if they can. And we can lower them. I think we can articulate it in a bench trial,
Right.
and then try the civil suit afterwards.
Yeah, the judges do have the ability in a bench trial to change the charges from what the officers want to what they feel fits best.
Yeah.
That's not something they can do in a regular trial, but they can do it here. So if they refuse to lower the charges to the ones we're proposing, I would recommend a bench trial.
All right, let's do it, team.
All right.
1, 2, 3, super lawyer team.
Yeah.
All right, super lawyer team. Woo!
Super lawyer team. Jenny!
Oh.
Jenny!
God.
Jenny!
Oh.
I think they.
She asked, didn't she?
She
Yeah,
did.
she wanted
she
it.
did.
She was asking
She
for it.
said. She said.
Well,
There you go. She heard us.
Yeah, she
Right.
could.
Jenny-
There
oh,
she is.
here she is.
Oh my god. Did you hear her?
I
Hello.
miswrote that, did. Hey, hi,
Hello.
Jenny.
Hiya.
We've decided to drop all charges against me.
Oh, unfortunately, Billy, but that's not a choice. It's only guilty or not guilty in this one. Not bench trial.
Please talk to my 6 lawyers. I'm gonna have her in the pool.
Oh.
All right, so
Oh, who's gonna-
Aaron, are you the arresting officer?
I am.
Let me,
Alan?
yeah.
Technically.
Yep, Alan,
You
They
are?
gave
Okay.
me a rookie. I'm disgusted.
Hello.
What's up, rookie?
Hey, our rookies are the best.
It's an SPD rookie. You give me the bottom of the barrel. What the
I gave
fuck?
you the best because one day they'll be wearing the same uniform as me.
All right, so Rael, did you want to, since you came up with the suggestions, do you want to present what we discussed? Sure, go ahead.
So, since my client did have an altercation with the officer before the thing happened, and he was, put through some emotional pain,
So
we're
much pain.
recommending if we get the charge from attempted drop to assault with a deadly, and since the vehicle was already in a poor state, drop the reckless evading due to him not being able to control it that well, and the officers being overly aggressive with him.
Stop bringing up the traumatic moments of that abusive cop. I'm gonna not listen.
Yep.
Oh. So bad.
God,
He will plead
Okay, let
guilty
me
if you lower those two.
let me converse really quick and get back to you. All right.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
No
What
problem.
about my bike being impounded for a violent felony?
You can't escape that one, I don't
Technically,
think.
you
No,
kind of
I
said that one
think
because
you
even
kinda-
assault with a deadly isn't a
Yeah.
violent felony.
It's still
Piss and
violent. Yeah.
shit. Fine. I was awake for 9 minutes when this happened. 9 minutes.
Oof.
That was
Damn.
it.
That's rough.
I was gonna go and get my $400,000 bonus paycheck, which I get because I'm disabled because I'm Welsh.
What?
Okay.
Yes, all Welsh people get a benefit for being Welsh in this city because we're all kind of dumb as fuck.
Well, You said it.
Apart from Vale,
I
she
mean, whatever
just
helps
takes the
you, I
piss out of
guess.
me.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Vale's in a different league when it comes to being Welsh.
She can piss her off. She's always been picking on me. She's an idiot. Walking all hard and stuff like she's hard. I'd knock her out. I've always won in a battle against her. Always. As you can quite clearly see, I am a specimen of generations of inbreeding. Every now and then it works.
Interesting.
Okay.
How many you got tits on your back?
What? What?
You have tits on your back?
I like just having 2 tits.
Same,
I
I'm
didn't
good.
Check those
I like
bad
'em on the
boys out.
front.
I call them my pig tits. Look at those.
Oh.
Oh.
That's
Right, if I go to a petting zoo, people try and feed off them. Animal. Disgusting.
Stop.
Don't produce milk though.
What's happening?
That's probably a good thing.
Oh, they're just for show?
Yeah.
They ain't for show. They have functions, but I'm not disclosing that.
Okay. Wonderful.
You're the nosy lawyer. This is like Snow White and the dwarfs and stuff. You got nosy. You know, you got Jenny. You got good lawyer, curly hair lawyer, guy who stands in the back, rude, annoying lawyer, lawyer who makes valid points, and then lawyer lady who's taking control. And I'm grateful for all of you.
I'm good lawyer.
That's
Whoa.
That was sweet.
Hey.
Jenny, you can be the Wicked Witch or
I'm
something.
Jenny.
No,
You're
she's just Jenny.
I'm Jenny.
Can I
roll on my
can
own.
I be let go if I said, can I just be let go? I bet you've never done that.
Just let me go.
You've let someone go just for saying I want to go. Oh shit! Who?
Can I go? Oh.
Fuck. That's viable.
And then he's walked out of the doors, and then the next day I pressed the same charges again.
I'm not allowed to play with Reed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not allowed in the same room with like 10 minutes because we say stuff that's so inappropriate. We just both get feared of getting kicked out.
Yeah, you're walking
everywhere.
cancels. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I don't play with Reed. I like him, but he's just fine. Can I have a cigarette, Jenny? Have you got a
I
cigarette?
don't smoke or drink or do anything.
Yeah, I got cigarettes. Can I give him one?
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
grumpy lawyer.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Why? Because
Give me a
I
brownie.
have an
Give me a
addictive
brownie.
personality.
I'm not giving you a fucking browning. I don't have one.
Like, don't ask for guns.
He
in
ain't a
myself.
good lawyer then. All lawyers
Don't
I
ask
ever
for
knew.
guns in myself.
I'm not even a
Alright,
lawyer
the
yet. I'm just
brownie.
learning.
Jenny, do you remember someone called Solomon?
Yeah, I remember Solomon. Oh, they have an
Everyone called me
answer.
Solomon. Oh, all right, let's get going. What's happening,
Okay,
guys?
so hold on.
back.
Open up the circle a little. All right, let us all.
Make the semicircle a little bit more.
All right.
Jenny.
This is a crescent, mate. You
More
don't
of a
even know
chubby
the
circle?
shape.
Crescent circle. Okay.
Stop.
Tomato,
They're
tomato.
kind of important to know difference of shapes. We learned this at a very young age, cadet.
You don't get to call him a cadet. What the fuck?
He's an
All
officer.
right,
Yes, I
let's,
do.
okay,
I'm
big
gonna call
news,
you
come
a
on.
cadet, Samurai
No,
Jack.
Hey, Billy, you
Oh,
are
he's an
respectful to my
officer.
officers.
Sorry.
Very simple. All right, let's go.
Stop, sir,
Respectful,
please.
What's the charges? Come on, stop blue balls in me.
All right. Took the consideration. So we'll agree with the dropping the reckless evading down to evading, but we're holding stance on attempted murder, government reasoning behind it is no matter what the situation is, he is swinging a deadly weapon at an officer multiple times.
But he wouldn't have done so if the officer had
Mhm.
maintained his professionality.
I was
Does not
walking
matter.
into the bank when I had to come out because I knew what he was going to do. He was
That's
going to
true.
antagonize me. I'm a violent, angry old man. I just want to be left
Okay.
alone.
All right.
Why not?
He
Billy?
also did
Why not
so-
just spit on him?
He
Why
also
use
did
a hatchet?
so, not trying to kill him, but trying to get him out of the way.
Okay, so very simple. We're keeping stance on attempted murder. That's not going to change. You do not. You already admitted under Miranda that you swung multiple times. If it was assault with a deadly, it could have been once. You didn't do that. If you tried to swing at him to push him out the way, you could have pushed him. You didn't do that.
Yes, I did.
Well,
Then
I mean,
he
you
got in his
swung with an
car and
axe.
drove away, and then tried to fucking blast me. So I had
You
to
swung
defend
at
my
him
life.
with
He's
an
trying to
axe
kill
multiple
me.
times. That's what you confessed.
Oh.
It's gonna
No.
stay at that. And that's how it's gonna be.
Right. So, Billy, what did you want to say?
My lawyers and I don't agree with this guilty plea. I believe we will
Okay.
take this to civil. Well, I don't know. Talk to the lawyers because I don't know nothing.
Do you want to plead guilty or not guilty, or do you want to take this to a bench trial?
Whatever you say, I'll do.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, we work for you, so.
I have no
What
money.
do you want to do?
What would you do if you were me and didn't look as bad as me?
Can I talk with Grace?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
All of you
You
go.
guys
all
are in
lawyers.
trouble now.
I would have said
Oh,
bench
oh,
trial.
They
over
broke
here.
the semicircle.
Yeah, all lawyers, because I want you all to hear it.
Yeah, come on. So, what I'm thinking, right? I didn't hear him said that he said that he swung multiple times. So
He did. He
he's
did say
putting.
it.
He did say it.
Yeah, he did. He said that even after he hit him the first time, he attempted to leave and he hit him a couple more times.
Yeah, it was
With
more
the,
than once.
yeah, he did. He did say. He did say.
I've also read them to you, and you said you.
Then we can't bench trial. I don't think.
Well, I
don't
mean,
think
we
it
can
would
still
change
bench.
anything.
We can
Yeah, we
still
can,
bench
but I don't
trial
think
and
it's gonna change
articulate.
anything.
Yeah, but these officers want to push the attempted murder, and they want to articulate that, but they're not willing to take any responsibility for the
Yeah.
officer who instigated everything.
Also,
And our chances of
What is that word?
getting that charge reduced to the one we want, it's small, but it is a
Yeah, we
possibility.
can try.
also the thing is, to disable the vehicle, he shot it, and so he could have just taken the wheel off.
Yeah, he escalated.
So he
to
actually
shooting.
escalated with,
Yeah, so he
discharging his weapon.
used deadly force at
Yeah.
first. Even if he wasn't shooting at the gentleman, he pulled out a gun and used the violent weapon
Here he is.
on the
I can see his
motorcycle.
head shining from here.
And I know it's not entrapment,
he
but
shot
do
your
you
tire,
think
didn't he,
he
mate?
wouldn't
I
have
bet he did something
hatcheted him
corrupt. Well, your day
if
is coming,
he
Cotton
hadn't
Bulb.
escalated and shot the tire out? He wouldn't have
Yeah.
he wouldn't have committed any crime. He would have just drove away.
Yeah, he was there minding his own business. The officer started things.
Come in your car's
And
exhaust.
while, yes, it's not necessarily
So when it turns on, it just
okay
makes
legally
massive
for him
bubbles.
to retaliate, the fact that he was minding his own business and would have kept minding his own business if the cops had just left him the fuck alone, I think that that's, something we should argue.
Calls into
entrapment part
question are
could also
cops held to
be-
a higher standard where they should be.
But
Yeah,
I do
because if
think
if our client is being held to the standard that he shouldn't, attack somebody who's threatening him and his property, then, I mean,
Cops
it's
need to be
technically
held.
it's stand your ground in a
It
way.
is, right? Because if you think about it, they had their altercation before he went into the bank. If he had gone into the bank and then the officer left while he was in the bank, didn't interfere with his vehicle, nothing else would have happened after that.
Mhm.
But
Wait,
the
Billy?
officer deciding to do what
Wait,
he
Billy?
did is why everything happened after the fact.
OG?
Yeah, we're not excusing what he did, but we're
Oh, not
asking
today.
that mitigating factors be taken into account with the charges. We're not saying he's not guilty of anything. We're saying that they're pushing harder charges than they should.
Yes, I do against
And
that
he's
bastard.
willing to plead
Yeah,
guilty
get this
to a
guy
lesser
the
charge
fuck out of
because
my
he
face.
does
Yeah.
understand
He grabbed me
shouldn't
from my
have done
hole.
it.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
trying to walk
These are
away
real
free. He
wheels.
just called it what
Billy,
it
he
was.
grabbed
Yeah,
me off
exactly.
a
I
Florham
wasn't trying to
Drive
kill him.
because
I
just
was
looked
reacting
like
to what
someone
he
else.
did.
I'm not
And then
doing
I- and then, like,
anything.
That's
I'm
right.
I think is to
writing
go and
my
try to go after
charges for
anything else
this guy.
legally later.
Oh.
I'm going to write my
This-
reports,
Yeah, he
everyone.
tried to
Billy,
leave the
Billy, I need
situation
you
by
to be
going
OG
into the
for
bank.
Do not look at
two
this
The
guy.
seconds.
officer
Do
then,
not- do not-
continued the
Billy, I
altercation.
need you to be an OG for 2 seconds.
Discharging his
Oh,
weapon.
absolutely not.
Mhm.
Not today.
Yeah.
Oh, please,
I would
please.
try
He
to
grabbed me off
style
a
and just
Florham
see
Yeah,
Drive.
I'm
losing my
Another
mind.
Florham
He
I'm
Drive.
losing
literally
my
has
mind.
nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah.
Losing your hair
Yeah,
as well.
because I
That's
mean,
why
he's
trying
either
grow
going
through
to
your
be
beard.
found guilty of the attempted murder that they
Go on,
want,
make it
or he's
grow
going to be
upwards,
found with a
mate, not
lesser
down.
charge, which
Yeah, you
he
should just
agreed
let
to
me go.
plead guilty to. So
Right.
there's really nothing to
God, I'm
lose.
funny.
Yeah, true.
Even if it's a long shot, it's still better than no shot.
Oh my god!
God.
Oh my god!
Okay, the other question is, would he testify, would he say anything? Because he is definitely a risk to put on the stand.
I would most definitely not want him on stage.
He is, but I mean, he's already said stuff, so
Yeah.
there's really
We
no
already got
benefit.
the reckless drop to regular, so I would think
Yeah.
we could try and contest the other one.
You know what?
I mean, what do you guys? What do you think,
Some
Roman?
people can't grow hair. Okay?
Yeah, like you.
Shouldn't make fun of them for it.
I'm gonna make fun of you all I fucking want to, because you grabbed me off of my fucking street while I was going home because I look like
I
somebody
know.
else.
I know. But I think
You
everybody's
have
weighed
to
in
be the
except you.
dumbest fucking criminal I have ever met in my entire existence of this city. You dumb fuck. You had a grapple gun that
Wow,
was
look at the
broken. You had the
professionalism we're
same mask,
experiencing
same
today.
outfit,
To get
same
away from
hair,
the
and you
bullets,
stayed
I
in
didn't
the
get my
fucking
ass
area, you
kicked.
dumbass.
I didn't stay in the same fucking area. I was at home.
You're a dumb fuck. And I'm processing you, and I'm gonna get you your charges, and you can plead guilty or not guilty. I don't give a fuck. Sit tight.
Oh.
Unlike your
Shots
hair.
and a taser.
That's well
just
gone.
went off.
Oh, yeah, that's what those sounds
Try
are.
all that glue you want, mate. That toupee ain't,
Oh.
ain't staying on.
Oh my god.
There's a chance here from everything that I'm hearing. I don't know why my muscle just did that.
Mackenzie, can I make fun of
Me
you
too.
again?
No, go fuck yourself.
We're good, right? I mean,
I recommend bench trial.
Yeah, me too.
Oh shit. Wait, no.
We can do
Mackenzie,
bench
you're
trial.
my
If
favorite.
you
I
wanna-
think there's
if you want to make
a
fun of
valid
me, I'm just gonna
chance
leave.
It's there,
No,
but it
I
is
didn't
going to
know
be
you
Another
were
person
hard.
helping. Now I know you're here to help me.
It's
Now we can
just,
get along again.
Trying to prove that he escalated it, really, and that's why all this happened.
Yeah, it's about
And I'm grateful for
I
that.
guess just
I
like
apologize.
showing
I
that
redact my
that
statement that Hayes
escalation
is useless.
caused everything to happen.
Don't even
And
think
honestly,
I said
if
that, so I don't
Yeah.
have to
if
now.
Copeland
Nobody needs to
came
feel
to
bad.
court and was questioned
Well, you
about it,
kind
if
of
he flies
implied
off
it by
the
saying
rails
he's-
like he did just now over the
So
charges
my
of that
God.
other
Here.
person,
No,
I think it would be
didn't, because
enough proof
two
to
doors
confirm it.
that are freedom for me.
Yeah, there
The
is a
reality
risk
of it-
putting him on the stand, but again, he has already said stuff, so
True. But
Wow,
really,
you're
from everything he
skipping a
said,
lot of
unless
chain
the
of command.
cop says something different, everything
Oh,
would have been
I
over
guarantee
with
the cop's
the-
gonna say something different.
Jenny,
Yeah, but
please help.
if at the point he went into the bank, he went about his business, when he came out, the bike would have been fine, he would have been gone, nothing else would have happened. Everything happened because of what the police officer did and dealing with him. He's not going to
He
be
did the
reasonable.
same thing
And
to
I think
me.
that was understood from previous interactions between the two. He kind of had to know how he would react because I've known him like maybe 10 minutes now, and I kind of know how he would react to things, you know? So.
I'll take your statement once you're done.
Alright, well,
I'm not
I
your
mean,
greatest
I'm
friend, but
I'm
I'll
here to
take your
kind of, you
statement
know,
once
advise you
are
guys,
done
but
being
ultimately, I want
processed
you guys to take
for
control
the
of the case and everything. I was just here to, you know, present
Yeah.
some ideas and kind of, you know, guide you guys through
Probably
the
made an
process
insult to
of
me as well.
being in the cell rep. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys if you want to do the bench trial, if you want to recommend
gripe
him
with
to
me
the bench
before?
trial, and
Yeah.
you know, I'll answer any questions you guys have about prepping for it. But it's up to you guys
Sounds like
ultimately.
Well, like
a
I,
problem.
well, like I said, I thought getting the charges reduced from what they originally were was the thing that we could go for, and now I think bench trial is
Who's that as well? Who's that at the
good
back?
enough to do it because he has nothing to lose at this point. He's either going to get what he already has right now,
Lo and
or
behold, if it isn't the
better.
fucking glory hole himself.
What do you think?
Yeah, I guess we can recommend
He
it to
wants-
him, say it's completely up to him what he would like,
Alright, Spearman.
and then just go from
Is
there.
that Max or is that one of the judges?
No.
He
Alright,
said he'll do
I'll let you
whatever we
guys,
suggest, so you can just tell him you want to do a bench
I'll let you
trial
guys
to learn.
You can do it,
go
Rex,
back
you're
and,
doing really
and tell
well.
the officers.
So good at digging
Yep.
yourself
Okay.
a hole, man.
Sorry, Judge.
I can't believe.
All right, so let's head back over and.
No,
All right.
he's trying to make
I'll let you
himself
guys
look
deal
like
with it.
you,
It
so
sounds
you
like
get
Mr.
done for
Fixer here is
poking your
looking
dick
for a
through a
lawyer,
hole.
so-
Oh,
Huh?
things to look in on.
Omega lawyer team's ready, I think.
All right.
Gotcha.
Law team, let's see what you got.
I'm sorry, honorable judge. Please accept my case.
Don't worry. There's 3 more in the lobby that can do that for you. I'm here to see what the kids are up to.
They're currently discussing what they think is best for Billy after hearing Billy's side of it.
Okay.
After giving Billy multiple options, he made the choice of 2 and then asked his lawyers to deliberate which one they thought was best. Alright guys, ready when you guys are.
So is she?
Oh,
Yeah, she's all
Talking to
distracted,
him.
so I'm gonna say, I'll say it if you want me.
Go ahead, Karen.
All right. So we see that since we can't get your other charge reduced,
Bayo, can I ask
we
a
are suggesting that you want to do a bench trial if you want to get it dropped down.
Let's
Alright.
do it, guys.
Okay.
All right, I'll round up a judge for you guys.
3, 2, 1, Super Omega Liar team.
Hey,
All right.
Caprione, bench trial.
Okay, turn right. Everyone
call
has
it
back a
accepted.
little bit for me. Don't want to.
Ladies and gents, if you'd like to follow me, I'm going to take you one more place before we go outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fucking axe guy
so,
wants a bench
Come
trial.
on in, Alan.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, he doesn't want it.
Come on
He's
through.
doing it. Yeah, I don't know. He's getting a bench
My snap, I was just going to a bank, but not robbing.
Okay. Trial here.
This is my favorite rooms.
So these are, yeah, this is the other room where you may be brought into. I'll open one for you. These are the interrogation rooms. You can go have a look if you want. You may be brought down here too. Also, if they are being, if they're in interrogation and they request a lawyer and they're like, hey, we want your support, this is the room that you'll be brought to. It'll usually be, if you come out here when you're done, I can talk to all of you. There will usually be a recording device, and what is needed of you when you get in there is you are there to help your client answer questions, and you are there to advise them whether you think you should or shouldn't be answering them. The one thing that will happen is once you're in there, we will start a recording device, and you'll be asked to state your name and who you are and who you're representing. And this will mostly be led. You'll get a bit more help later on, probably on your first couple of cases. You're probably working someone. If not, you'll be brought down here. Same thing has happened out there. Same thing that happened in here. It just happens in here, and then maybe we may have a couple more questions for them, like, "Hey, where did you get the gun?" In which case, you can advise them, "Hey, you complete the 5th, or I don't think you should answer that," or you're like, "No, you're good to answer that." It's up to you guys. They'll tell you what extent. It works the same way. We'll leave you in there for about 10 minutes with them. You call us back. We conduct the interview, and yeah, we discuss charges, or we let them go with you. So this is the only other room, and if you follow me this way.
Also, there's usually a recording of the interrogation, unlike in the cells. There was no recording.
This is all recorded. Anything that happens in interrogation rooms will be a big red button, and it'll say recording where you state your name. Come on through.
If you're talking to your client, you turn it off?
Yes, you turn the recording off while you're with your client, and you can turn it off, and you can request it to be turned off at any time.
And by law, they're not allowed to observe you in the other room while you are having private conversations with your client.
Yeah.
Once the private conversation is over, they can go back in there, but they are not by law allowed to be in there, and they are not allowed to use anything they do here if they do choose to violate that.
So the answer is, to make it very simple, you work the exact same way in those rooms as you do in the cell. If you request time with your client, we are legally obligated to leave. We will stand here. We'll usually stand out here, and it will require you to 311 to contact us. What you can also request, let's say that you want to have a conversation about maybe your client's safety, and you don't think it's good to have recording of it. You can request us to pause the recording, which we will do. When you request any time with your client, the recording will be paused and will be put on once the officer is back in the room. But say you just want some company because it's going to be a bit, officer may come with you. They may opt to have the recording on, but the rule of thumb is that if an officer is conducting any sort of police conduct within those interrogation rooms, there will be a big red button and a big recording sign.
And sometimes they'll forget to turn it off. So if you see that it's still on as they make their way out, make sure you remind them to turn it off, just to be safe.
I'm going to be honest. Unless the officer's in the room, it usually doesn't pick up on everyone's voice anyway. So you're usually good. All right. So the fun part of this is that this is a big C, and you come out exactly where you came in.
Oh, cool.
There you go. I've taken him to the interrogation and given him a bit of info about what happens down there.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay,
No
everybody.
problem.
All right. What's happening? What are we doing right now? Where do we need to go? Talk to me. Okay. So let's go. Let's go to the courthouse. Let's go.
All right.
At the end of dealing with your client, we will lead you back upstairs and let you out, and we will talk to you. This is where we just kind of say thank you, and we'll basically walk you up here and walk you back to the main doors.
Okay. No matter how bullshit it gets in the cells, no matter how aggro your client wants you to be, when you get out here with the officer, you better let them know you were just working and it wasn't personal. I am serious. Maintain good relations with the officers who let you in here into their place of work.
The only thing I would like to add on behalf of the police department when they're all back, please don't forget to pick up your stuff.
Get my stuff.
Oh yeah, true.
Yep, grab your
My cell
phones.
phone.
One thing I will add just on the part of the police department, because this has happened, I hope it never does. This is, as the courthouse is your temple, this is ours. So Judge Grayson and the other judge will back me up when I say that if there's anything, this is the horrible bit that I don't like doing. If there's anything untoward, if there's any rudeness, if there's any back-talking, if there's any bitchiness, officers can ask you to leave. And they will if they feel that you are overstepping what your job is. It's a two-way street though. If we are rude to you, you are more than welcome to reach out to someone like me or any member of command to basically say that they were unprofessional or they did something wrong. It is a two-way street in those cells, and we do want to keep it that way. We do ask that just like we are respectful of one another, so it stays as a nice, positive environment. Yes, it gets heated. I have been heated. I've been on the roof with lawyers before, and they've been on the roof with me. It happens. But as long as at the end we come to a suitable and realistic arrangement and we get somewhere that is useful for both sides, it's worth the mountain that it is climbing. But yeah, this is Mr. PD. Thank you for coming down, and good luck on your bench trial.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we appreciate you. I'll go drag them and put them to work. Let's go.
Good luck.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Jenny.
you.
Thanks,
No
Jenny.
problem.
I'm 100% serious. You walk out of that room and you're like, hey, you know that was all just work, right? That's not personal. It's important. Maintain working relationships with PD. You don't have to like everyone. Not everybody has to be your friend. You have to maintain a professional relationship.
No one is taking my passenger seat.
Oh, your passenger seat, huh?
Yup.
I blended.
Gonna make my day more miserable, Norman.
That's true. That's true.
Everybody got a seat somewhere? Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. I'll get you over there since you actually gotta do things.
Okay. Somebody pick up a phone, call Shrugway, tell Joseph tell Joseph that Grayson wants like 7.5 grand's worth of food delivering to the courthouse. So you all get fed while we're doing this.
Hi, Joseph. It's just Carlson. Can we get like about 7.5 grand of food delivered to the courthouse? Yeah, thank you so much, Joseph. Joseph, jeez, for a second talk. I'm sorry. Bye. He's working on it.
How'd it go? Talk to me.
We got a charge lowered.
Well,
we
in
got-
the cells,
Yeah.
you negotiated a charge down.
Yeah. We were
Okay,
trying to
how'd
go
that
for
go?
the second one, but they kind of stronged arm, so we kind of going for the second one to be lowered as well.
Well, so this
That's
is why
why
we're
we
going to
bench
bench this. Yeah. That makes sense.
I kind
So
of
did
said,
they scale the charge to a lower version?
yeah.
I am an
Okay.
And I kind of was trying to lower the second one. I told them if we could lower two, we could plead guilty and then deal with the rest of the bit on the civil suit. But
Ooh.
they said that they couldn't lower one of them, so I said bench trial.
You said bench trial, the client said bench trial.
Client agreed to bench trial.
Okay.
That's what I told them, like, what we were what the plan was.
How'd it go with Billy?
He
Yes.
agreed with most of it.
Yeah, he's also quite the character.
That he
Mhm.
is. That he is.
I've dealt with Billy a bunch of times. So, what's your read on what he wants out of all of this? What did he tell you he wants out of all this? Is it a specific charge? Is it a specific part of the incident? Is it a part of the narrative? What's going on?
They're trying to build this more towards painting an image for the civil suit rather than the incident itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely feel
I've
like
done that.
the narrative is more important. And
Yes, that's my read on Billy all the time. If he feels like he's had an injustice done, or that he feels like the PD is lying about a part of the story, right? That's what upsets him and makes him want further like justice, right? Because he feels like they're lying about him, which he doesn't like.
And the funny part is too that there was another gentleman being arrested by the officer that did the wrong thing,
Mm.
and he was mistreating him in front of us. So I already got the other suspect my number, so you can call me and grab him as a witness for the civil case.
She did make some good points, and
Okay.
I did hear some of her things, but Rael was the one that kind of spoke up first, and so even though a lot of you guys agreed with her and made good points in support of it, the reason she
This is where Grace hates me because I drive at exactly the speed limit.
As you should.
Making everyone. We're miserable. Everyone's miserable.
I think you might have done the. I'm honestly not sure which one of you.
I want to own a sports car and drive the speed limit so it annoys people.
I have a sports car too and drive the speed limit.
It's
confirmed.
I'd be very tempted to buy a Porsche just to drive 35 in it, everyone.
I kind of feel bad. I feel like I talked too much. I should have let the other people try and have a go at it.
No, I mean you had ideas, and you know we chimed in, and there's ideas like you covered one of the charges, and I wanted to make sure that I chimed in on the other because I was sitting there just stewing on it, and I'm like, I should ask. So
this is the issue with all group projects, right? If you're working with other people and it's the first time you're all working together, especially a large group of you, right? Someone will take lead. That's just bound to happen. That isn't a problem. That's just naturally the way some things happen, right? So don't worry about that. However, of course, if you're like actively a team on a schedule case or you're working together a lot, you will need to find like a balance there, right?
Yeah, I was
Have a discussion on who does what.
I rather wanted, since this is the law school thing, I kind of wanted to let other people have their go at it.
But
Oh, I
don't
got
step
you.
so back that you don't get a chance to engage yourself, right? I
Yeah.
do that sometimes. Like, I know I talk a lot, right? But naturally,
What?
that's not my proclivity. It isn't. I'm not a social person, to be honest with you. It is normally my, like, if I'm involved in group discussions, I will let other people take the lead and I'll just sit back and engage, right? But sometimes, for the greater good, you've just got to engage and throw yourself in.
While I'm here, I need to talk to him. This needs to stop. We can reconvene after I get the details.
Okay.
You know, sort of a thing.
Grace, are you leading them through all this?
I'm kind of walking them through. I was guiding things, but I wasn't telling them what to do. I was letting them come up with the ideas.
That's fine.
And,
however you
and
want to
so-
do it, however you want to guide them through. I trust you, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna let them do the arguing and stuff in here for the bench trial, but I'm going to answer any questions that they have if anything comes up.
I'm gonna stand with you guys. It's gonna be a different judge running this. It's gonna be a Judge Hart. I'll stand with you, and if you need anything answering, I'll answer it as we go along. You're fine.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna sign in since,
Hey, Joseph.
Super lawyer team assemble.
We're right there.
Bang! Super lawyer team. Guys, we got
Yeah,
a
we're
huddle.
here.
We got a huddle. I got some important news that I
You got
remembered.
this.
Wait, hold on.
Huddle
Let me
team.
get here.
Right, listen. So, cop.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
dear.
Don't get handsy in court.
He never
Wasn't
fired
thinking
a damn bullet at me. All the evidence is going to show that he clearly shot bullets into the ground, into my wheel. He never fired a single bullet at me at all. So I don't
Well-
think he did.
well, it doesn't change the fact that he escalated the situation by pulling out a lethal firearm. Regardless
Exactly.
of whether he aimed it at you, he aimed it at your property.
And I remember
which,
now,
you know,
I made a
you're-
joke.
You can defend.
I said, you shouldn't have your door open when because that's why I hit it. And he said, well, yeah. And I said, well, I've done you a favor now because you ain't got a door. As I went back into the bank, he said, come back. And then I said, the only cum that I'm going to put is on your back. And that's when he lost it. So this is a swoosh slam dunk. Put it in
Anyone need food?
Please!
Sorry,
Criminal,
please.
the falsely convicted criminal does.
There he is. Sorry, I'm late.
Holy shit.
It's a whole bunch of food in here. Just grab it, please.
Oh, oh, look at them trying to look
Anyone
nice.
need
It's like
food
the
here?
Monopoly man now. And he was bald.
I am okay, thank you.
Do not pass go. Do not collect to pay. I can look as good as that, mate.
All right, so if you guys have not been here for or witnessed a bench trial before, there's no opening statements, there's no closing statements. The police have to send us a copy of the police report. We'll take a few minutes to take a look at that, look at the evidence before we begin. They'll call their first witness. It'll most likely be a narrative testimony. And then they can ask questions of that officer. We can ask questions of that officer. And then that'll be it for that witness. Then the same thing for the next one. They can point to evidence, but no closing statement. Then it'll be our turn.
Give me a sec. Give me a second. Let me cook on this. Officers, how bad's the city right now?
Really bad.
There was a lot.
Really bad? You don't have time? Okay.
That was a lot. Oh, it's
I was going to ask if we could have closing statements at the end just to give these guys a chance to cook a little bit. But like, if you're telling me you don't have the time, you don't have the time.
There's
I mean,
about
we've had 378 calls after one another.
378, and there's currently 7 cops dying.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little,
Fun.
little on fire.
Well, I tried. What we're going to get instead is we're going to have to learn how to be really fucking on top of what we're doing and doing it efficiently and doing it quickly and concisely, right?
I propose something, sir. All
up,
charges
Billy?
are dropped. Simple as. Case
I mean,
dismissed,
he's
guys.
willing.
We
I
win.
mean, he's willing to plead guilty if they're willing to reduce that attempted murder charge. But if they're
Oh, I
not, then
ain't.
we're here. You said you would if we got it down to assault.
Yeah. If it goes down to assault,
That's
then
what I'm
we
saying,
will.
so-
We will walk out of here. Me and my Omega lawyer team.
I think you're gonna walk out of here, but you'll get less time if we can get those charges.
Yeah.
So them not wanting to reduce that is on them that we're here.
Well, so be it. Then the city shall burn. Continue.
Mrs. Sprinkle,
Yes.
I want you to do one thing after all of this.
Yes.
Make sure you're not yelling. Or
Yes.
everything.
I'm incredibly loud. I forget.
I want you to try and seek therapy from the hospital.
No.
Due to the psychological pain you went through.
Yes. I'm distraught.
No. Wait,
Because
At
of
least
the
give an
monopoly,
attempt
man.
to it. And I don't know if there's that many
100%.
therapists or not, but do it.
I am a therapist myself.
Somebody
I could
check these
analyze
microphones.
myself.
No.
No, not
Make sure they're
yourself.
working
You
properly.
gotta use Joanna
actual
Golden, probably.
licensed doctor to do
Do
it.
this. I'll do.
And
I will
once
get.
you
I will get the best report ever.
Make sure you get
Go ahead.
your
Test
like,
me.
And we need proof
take
of
them
that.
to
This one here.
K's or somewhere else,
Still sounds
and
Okay.
have them say.
Law school. Law school. With me in the corner. Come here.
All right.
It's a little.
Alright.
It's crisp.
The wheels of
I-
justice are turning without a tire, Mr.
Don't
Leon.
know what's happening here, right? But there's clearly 2 things happening here, right? There are the charges he's facing today, and then the accusations of a civil infringement, right? So there's 2 things happening. Do not, especially when time is at like
The place
at
I'm
a
going is
premium right now,
pass and go, Mr. Monopoly
be distracted
Man.
by only focusing on the wrongs done to
Vandal
Mr.
of a
Sprinkle
rear
allegedly,
tire of a
right?
BF400.
Your point here is instituting doubt in the charges he's facing. That's your job right here, right now. Focus on that, right? Don't get distracted, because it's very easy to get distracted with what's happening, right? Don't. Focus on what you need to focus on, right? Doubt. Go.
At the bottom. It's at the bottom of the report.
Okay.
The 13A. Right?
Did you get the evidence? Who got the evidence?
Yeah, it's saved.
think
It's saved.
anybody
It should be.
gets
It should be.
I
there.
don't
Check
have
it out.
any
Check it
yet.
out.
Yeah.
Nobody gave us any.
At
I
the
don't
bottom.
think they have given it yet.
ready? Are we still waiting for him?
The defense does not have the report yet, nor have we had time to go over it.
Yeah, I'm getting that ready for you guys right now.
Thank you.
1 second.
10 to you. Bureau 7 go. Bureau 7 going off radio.
All right, so when addressing each other or the client during the case, make sure you're whispering. When you're addressing the judge and the courtroom in general, make sure you are speaking as loud as possible with your chest.
Billy?
Okay.
Is that our future mayor?
More like
Howdy, future mayor Marcus Moore.
future mayor my ass.
Oh, hello, Adam.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I thought Marcus said Future was running for mayor.
No, I am the future mayor.
I mean, CTH thought that once too.
Wait, what? What did I think?
That you were gonna be mayor.
The only reason I lost is because everybody's brain dead and wanted to vote for Buddha. And I only lost by 30.
Sounds like democracy.
That wasn't democracy. Oh, he was giving money outside of the damn courthouse. What kind of bullshit is that?
And that's how you weaponize
He was
CTH
giving
in the courthouse.
$50,000 to people.
You just weaponize them.
Guys, for the defense, who do I pass this off to? Because there's a lot of people.
Miss Grace.
Grace?
Yeah, you can send that to me. Do you need me to text you my email or anything?
Yes, please.
Okay.
What's this case even about anyway?
There you go.
Hi, Corey.
Injustice, brutality, and my rear wheel of my BF400.
Ooh, 18 out of 20. Damn. Oh, we dropped
Okay,
another
that
10
feels
subs.
like a lot.
I don't know if we're going to keep 100 for this month, but we're going to try. Going to probably stream tomorrow as well.
Alright.
We'll keep trying. We'll keep trying, mate. My sound alerts are all different, so I haven't had a hi mommy in a
Guys,
while.
remember, I need
miss
to have
it.
access to my phone, so I'm going to leave now. I wish you all the best of luck in this case, especially you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good luck on your race.
Thank you. Hope to see you at the polls. Bye.
See you then.
Bye.
All right, so I already have Roman, Ava, email addresses.
You have mine too.
You okay, sir?
I have yours as well? Okay.
Oh, hi, Grandpa.
So, all right, so then I'm going to need Karen and Arya's emails. Let me
Okay.
let me write you a little note so you guys can
I
get my email address.
I can send it to Arya.
Okay.
Well, I attempted to say thanks, hubby. I won't.
Okay, so Grace and Arya, you guys should have it.
Yeah, I get it. I'm good.
Easy. Right, beautiful.
Can I have it? I want to have a look over it.
All right, here, Karen. Here's my email address. If you'll send me a quick
Jesus.
message, I can forward this on to you as well.
I sent you an email.
Keep showing under past the vault. A verbal altercation between the accused and my own accused. Enter the vault and separate. Resume patrol. When he heard gunshots. Okay, so that confirms.
Mark my life.
At this point, I'd be telling you, if you were a lawyer, to set yourself to in trial, right? I don't know if you can do that as a legal aid.
I don't believe they can, Your Honor.
They don't even have a phone to begin with.
True.
Well, true. You would have to set it outside, but I don't think you have the option to set it either way. All right, everybody should have that. If you don't have it, let me know now, and I will double check.
To view the evidence.
Okay. Here, let me give you. Let's see.
Just send it to the laptop over there, Grace.
Send it to. All right, I'll do that.
I can forward it to him if you want.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Arteries,
Perfect.
Taurus,
Thank you.
Joe's motorbike into
Perfect,
Copland's
thank you.
Taurus, striking the vehicle.
So Sprinkle, go have a look on the laptop so you can see that.
Copland attempted
I shall look at the lies that have been promoted.
Brandish
All
an
right, so
axe and
everybody take a few minutes to look over on the laptop as well.
opened fire,
and,
which the suspect
review the case.
exited
I'll do it on my phone since
the
I'm able to
motorbike
have
and
mine.
struck Copland
I don't
several
want to
times.
put too many of us over there.
Copland opened fire at. Hold on. He's missing the part where he went. Okay. Who refused. The suspect then brandished an axe and attempted to strike Copleone. Exited the vault. Tiger says that he's separated from Copleone. Okay. So there's a discrepancy from what was witnessed and what Copleone is saying.
Didn't get the report yet.
Yes, the evidence has been passed over. It's 97984 if you want to look at the calls. 97984.
There you go.
I sent it, yeah.
I'll help you. I'll help you. Oh, there we go.
Who paid for a mechanical keyboard on that laptop? Whose budgets is all coming out of?
Might
True.
be me when I had to replace everything.
All right. Once everybody has had a chance to take a look at it, we can go over to the corner and discuss what is and is not in the report, in order to plan our strategy, etc.
Wait till everybody's over here.
Yep. All right. So we're just waiting for Rael.
I already noticed one thing that's kind of missing.
Is
Okay,
it?
Roman, go ahead.
Wonder if it's the same thing I noticed.
Go ahead, Roman.
Is what you're noticing the thing about the tire? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that.
No mentions at all.
What is what you're seeing?
Mine is that there's a difference in the what Officer Tiger reported, and there seems to be something missing in Copleone's statement, where Tiger said that he drove by and he witnessed Sprinkle going into the vault, but in Copleone's it's almost as if it's reading that he drove into his car and then he said come back here, and he refused, and then he brandished the hatchet. He doesn't mention at all that the suspect went into the bank, separated from them, and then Tiger admitted, he said that he heard a gunshot coming from the vault. Obviously we can't guarantee it was definitely at the vault, but he heard a gunshot and he went back, and then he there's no mention of is there evidence of casings found?
No, there's not. When he literally did fire at my wheel, and that officer said that he even witnessed the altercation and me go in the bank, which I then came back out because he said, come back, and I said, the only thing I'm coming is on your back.
Okay, hold on one second. Can we just look at what Copleone himself said in his testimony? The suspect brandished an axe and attempted to strike, and then take off on the motorcycle. Copleone, right? It doesn't say he actually hit him. He doesn't say he actually hit him. It says attempted to.
Yeah, I swung to get him away from the bike, and then he got in his car and drove off, and then pointed the gun, so I fled.
The suspect, he said, Copeland attempted to stop the suspect who refused, right? And he said that he attempted to strike him, and then he got on the bike and Did I get the right, Grace? Can you check? Did I get it? Because I don't have.
Yes,
I don't
but then later on it says he got off the motorcycle and hit Copleone with the hatchet. So there were 2 instances of the hatchet. Him coming back and actually striking the officer appears to have
Yeah,
happened
but this is
after the
he
officer shot
him.
first.
Right.
But
that's what I'm
it's-
pointing out is that it's saying that this is from the victim supposedly's account, is that he attempted, but he didn't do it, and then after he opened fire, then that's when it was. So that's only helping, isn't it? Unless I read it wrong.
But like the thing that stood out to me is that Copleone, it just so happens that there's the missing point that was witnessed by the other officer, that Sprinkle went into the vault. They separated. It could have ended right then and there, but instead it was escalated. A gunshot was heard, his bike was messed up, and then the whole incident occurred. He isn't mentioning that there was they literally separated.
But he wasn't there for that part.
No, but Copleone's not mentioning that either, is what I think she's saying.
Yeah, like he's just talking about.
Copleone is pretty much saying it's like one whole.
Yeah, like there was no separation where it could have, like he escalated it when it was basically being de-escalated by Sprinkle going into the vault and separating from the incident.
Ask you a question. Was he in the vault and coming out and that's when it happened, or was his car parked and it was the door was open and you just ran into it?
Second.
So he wasn't in the vault himself?
No, he got out of his car to confront me once I hit his door.
Because what this says is, I remember saying in the very first line that Copleone exited the vault.
Negative. He was stationary in his vehicle. That's where the whole escalation begun once I hit his door off while he was sitting in it.
So he wasn't even in the vault, but his account to whoever was that he was coming out.
Copleone literally states in his thing that he exited the vault.
Right. So he's
very
saying
first
that he-
sentence, Ava. Good
very-
job.
Yeah. So he said that he come out, and then the other part was he's saying that you attempted to, but you didn't. He doesn't say that you actually struck him, and then he opens fire on you, and that's when he was hit with the axe. That's his words, no one else's.
Yeah,
and
he
the other
did-
people,
he did.
and the other people didn't observe anything until they came back and saw him on the ground, so they can't testify to anything that happened before they got there.
And how can they say they heard a gunshot, but then nobody looked to see there was casings at all, and what gun that came from?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they
And he
just
doesn't
trusted
say-
that Copleone was hatcheted. What if it had been a gunshot instead?
Yeah. The
Nobody
fact that there's no
double-checked.
casings or anything here seems like they're trying to cover for the officer discharging his
Yeah.
weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
little
it's,
bit of perjury.
Perjury is very hard to prove, even if you get them to admit that their statement doesn't
I'm gonna
match
let-
what they say on the stand.
I'm gonna let you guys do all this. I'll give my statement of what happened, and then the rest's all up to you. All right?
Understood. And the attempted murder of a government employee charge literally states the attempt to murder a government employee. So if, if Mr. Sprinkle, if we can argue that he was defending himself against the bullets being shot at him by the officer, then that's not an attempt to murder, that's an attempt at defense.
and because nobody bothered to look for casings, it's going to be a he said, she said, because there isn't any evidence. There's only the
Mhm.
one officer who admitted that they heard a gunshot.
There is not the lack of rear wheel on my motorcycle, which
Somebody did admit to seeing that. I think Erin admitted that she saw that there was no real wheel on your bike.
No, it was the dude with the red hair.
Tiger.
Oh, okay.
The thing I want to point out is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Tiger's testimony that not testimony, but his statement there. He said something. Oh gosh, I'm checking. Can you just check, Grace, and see in Tiger's
Send it for DSC.
statement? Does he say something in the very, like, I think beginning part about when he was driving past and he saw the cop and our client arguing?
Mhm.
In this city, when does a police officer ever see another police officer having an issue and just leave? You have a traffic stop and 5 police cars are coming up behind you, so that doesn't make sense that he would just drive away watching his fellow officer having an altercation with somebody who, forgive me, sir, is probably known to have a temper.
Yeah, so you are correct, Ava. Tiger says that he saw a verbal altercation and that he saw Sprinkle go into the vault and he and Corleone separated. So Tiger specifically admits that they separated,
Right.
and Sprinkle went into the vault. That could
So
have been the end.
Right, that could have been the end right
Yep,
there.
absolutely.
Nobody can testify to anything else that happened after they came up because they didn't see that. They came back
Right.
and saw one down, and one says he saw that his tire was down. How did his tire get out? How did that happen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like that separation, and then the fact that they heard gunshots from the bank and nobody checked for casings. This is like
you guys.
Things are lacking.
It's going on for a long time, guys.
Sorry,
Remember what
we
the
have.
officer said. I know there's a lot of you here
Yes.
talking, right? But remember, other people's time.
Yes.
All right, so come to a
Yes.
conclusion. Let's get going.
Okay, so
All right.
what do we
Are you
start
guys
with?
ready
Just
then?
say foregone conclusion.
I mean,
Then come
those
to
are
a
the points that I think are
conclusion
important
and
to
let's
me
get going.
that help the case. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So guys, take notes while the officer does their testimony and have some questions to ask him about stuff. I'll take notes as well, and in case we run out of questions, I can add some stuff. Yes.
Did they already put their testimonies in the report?
sounds
Do
like
they have to
any Ricky-
testify,
Ricky
or
Gervais
can we
comedy
just ask
ever.
them questions instead?
They're still going to testify. They'll give a narrative,
Is
and
he
then we'll be
upset
able
that
to
he's
ask
getting
questions.
old?
Okay.
So then
Can
we
we not
can.
just not have the questions
right.
asked
He's been doing
instead,
that since
because
the
they
office.
already give a statement of testimony?
Well, a
it's-
statement isn't necessarily the whole testimony. They might want to elaborate while they're on the stand.
Then go to the doctor. I hear you,
And
Dr.
isn't
Fresh,
it
does
the
that.
judge? Is this the first time the judge is hearing it as well?
Yeah, this is the first the judge is hearing of any of this.
Okay, so they have to tell their story. So we can specifically
Correct.
ask Copleone, like,
Probably can take
did you
blood.
fire your weapon
It's the
at
same
any
if
point
you're in
outside the
flame.
vault
It's the
if
same
he
if it's
doesn't bring that
inflamed
up
and
or
then they
anything
take
like
blood
that? So we could
from your
question
count.
him like that, right?
How are we doing over there?
No,
Alright.
we can highlight
They
the
do check
picture
babies with
of the
their
back
hands.
tire missing and then ask how that happened.
I believe we are almost ready, Your Honor. Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
your
feel like-
patience.
Fingers up, bum.
Please be aware, I understand you're all new. I'm not going to, fault you for not being completely perfect here.
Forgiveness, Your Honor, but this is probably like the most important trial since OJ.
Any other questions or anything before we're ready to go?
No, I think I'm good now.
You guys have all made really good points.
No, this
and,
this is
I'm
injustice.
looking forward to
being
see you
shoveled
guys
out of
all
the
ask your
out of the
questions,
swamp,
and
like
regardless of how this turns
Shrek
out,
being
you've done your
angry
best,
with-
and I'll make sure to let the judges know. that you
I don't
guys,
want a finger at me, bum.
all did
Well, there's no other way because
did a good job with the questions and everything. Okay.
Well, think about it. It's done, and then you
All
don't
right.
want to
How
do
to
it again
phrase
for
the
another
questions.
5 to
All
10
right.
years.
All right, come on over. Let's get started.
30 seconds for 10 years.
Jenny, stop talking about bumholes.
Oh. He said he doesn't want his prostate examined. I was explaining the science of it.
We had a camera up there last month. I want a man up there as well.
Gotcha. Yep.
The things
You
learn
ain't seen
about
my
living
doctor.
course.
He got big hands. He's got Mickey Mouse gloves on him.
Sausage fingers.
We're ready when you are, Your Honor.
GPT rewrite what I wrote in the contract.
I'm so nervous.
Alright.
Yeah. Actually, did really well. I was like, please write this as a contract.
Whoa, are we ready now?
There we go. Yes, we are.
Wait, let me close my CSGO on my Steam Deck. 1 second, please.
I still have to send it to you so you can rewrite it again.
I'll take a look at that.
I'm gonna send it over to you.
Okay, I'm ready, Your Honor. I apologize.
Oh, no worries at all. Alright, Mr. DOC guard, are you good to swear people in?
Sure thing, Your Honor. All right. Everybody that's going to be giving testimony, please raise your left hand.
I think one of our witnesses fell asleep.
Oh no.
God damn it, that's alright. Oh, he's here? Okay, thank you.
Somebody just raise his left hand. He'll.
Oh, hold on. I'll raise it.
Oh,
There we
well.
go.
Make me arms hurting.
Okay, yes.
Alrighty. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
You've been sworn in, Your Honor.
Yes.
Wonderful. Alright, time for a bench trial on whatever day it is with this man, Billy Sprinkle. All right.
Mood.
Well, we started off pretty well. All right, prosecution. Who's starting?
All right, I'm starting. Officer Allen
Alright.
Beast.
Perfect. You want to come up to the podium here? Alright, what kind of
Quick
job-
question, Your Honor.
Yeah, what's
did
up?
did he raise his hand? I didn't see him raise his hand to be sworn in. I only saw the gentleman in the suit and the officer with the red hair.
Yep.
Correct.
Thought it was only for people that were being given.
If you
That's
give
Right.
any
So if
testimony,
you're
you have to
testifying.
speaking,
You're
you're
currently giving
testifying.
Okay.
Yes, you'd
cool.
have to be sworn in then.
Let me
Alright, if you
swear
wanna
me
go
in.
again.
Strike him to the rancor pit.
Do you swear to
Good,
tell
good.
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
We're just gonna have you observe this as a civilian, and then
I
when the
do.
shit is over, we're going back to the prison.
This
and
guy's
we
been
already-
sworn in too.
That
Thank
cool.
you.
Four.
Thank you.
Nice.
There's 1 and 3, I think,
Alright,
on that side.
go for it.
No.
Alrighty. Officer Allen Beast. That's a beast with an E at the end. We are gathered here today for the charges that is attempted murder of a government employee ×1 and reckless evading for Billy Sprinkle.
Objection, Your Honor. Are we doing opening statements?
I was wondering that.
How does this go? I'm a cadet. What's up?
Oh, okay.
I'm a cadet. What's up?
We're all learning here together.
A mood. I'm a cadet. What's up?
I don't have the
Oh.
report hasn't been sent to me. I only have this. Is it still reckless evading?
It's evading now. Hold on, I'll send you the
Alright,
updated one. I thought I updated in the
Perfect.
NW.
No, I have it here, so so I believed it was that. Just wanted to make sure this officer wasn't incorrect. So how does part
That-
go?
what's up?
You just have to give
How
a
does
short
this work?
testimony of what
Me.
you saw and experienced. You don't
Or
need to
Adelaide.
Tell some huge tale that envelops all of it. Is just what you exactly experienced.
Gotcha.
What's up?
Okay. So, myself and Officer Carter and Officer John Castle, we responded to a emergency response backup from 78s at the vault. We heard that a individual, one Billy Sprinkle, was leaving the vault eastbound Vespucci on a motorcycle. We catch up at the intersection of the Occupation and Elgin outside of the old courthouse. Billy Sprinkle is then subdued, shot down, and we get him detained, get him medical attention. I was the one that processed Billy Sprinkle and documented his belongings, and now we're here.
Fascinating. Thank you so much. Amazing story. I love it.
Thank
all
you.
right. Great work. That's really all I need. Thanks. You're good.
Your Honor, do we get to ask questions of the witness?
This is sure.
say
Yes.
Vespucci?
God, this is going to be a long one, isn't it? Yeah, go for it.
Please
yes.
no.
A few questions. Let's
Love
not let it
that.
go forever.
Please no.
Cause and effect, Mr. Leon.
Wasn't here.
Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Beast, you need to come back to the podium. We have some questions for you.
My rear tire bleeds because of
Gotcha,
your
I'm here.
incompetence.
All right. Do any of you guys have a question for him, or do you want me to ask?
Not for him.
I have a question, but it's hard for me to talk.
I have no questions for
Okay.
him.
Do your best, Karen. Go for it.
Okay.
Make sure you're yelling.
Hi, Office, Cadet Tiger.
No, this is Officer Beast.
Oh, wait, which one?
Oh, okay. They're asking questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sidebar, I need you.
We just have the one question, which is
They fucked up. I think they fucked up because they didn't ask if I was
He's
guilty or not.
sidebarred. Stand by.
Are we part of this sidebar, Your Honors?
No, you're good. I think you're good for now.
Judges only.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Why do those one guys wear like the fluffy
I love this pain medication they give you.
You
yeah,
didn't.
just
You
don't
didn't
ask
actually
anything.
give them a.
We can't afford to do that with all these 78s.
You didn't give them an
We'll
actual
get defense to ask, and then we'll
guilty or
just
not
move on.
guilty. Did you sprinkle?
Yeah, no, she never asked for that either.
Sprinkle. You must be thinking about something.
He must be, but yeah, no, she never asked for his plea.
Arya?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. You were talking and I couldn't hear you. My ears have been doing me dirty today.
Yeah, I know. I'm like so nervous about that.
Oh god.
I don't understand how they had all this time while we were discussing the case to, teach the guy how a bench trial works.
Oh, they would rather
I
play
don't really have
CS:GO on the
questions
Steam
for
Deck.
him because
Apparently.
he was only there after the fact.
The only
Right,
question I would have
Go ahead,
is,
Arya.
oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
The only question I would have, because I think he said that he was involved in the chase, is asking him the state of Sprinkle's vehicle and the back tire.
What's up with British people and
I think
That's
that's
a good
the only thing
question.
they could actually say something about.
That's a good question. You should definitely ask that one.
You gonna be causing trouble?
I just asked them the same question.
Alright, brief recess really quickly. Billy Sprinkle, are you pleading
I don't want to
pleading
drag you
guilty to
guys
both
down
charges, or are there any you're not contesting?
What am I doing? What am I doing?
You're
You can
pleading
plead-
guilty to the evading, not guilty to
the
attempted murder.
evading, not guilty to the attempted murder of a corrupt government employee.
Is anybody else having trouble hearing the judge?
No.
No.
Okay, I'm deaf.
Alright.
Maybe go a bit more
You might
forward.
want to, try to get a little
Erin,
closer, maybe.
you go for it
Acoustics in
first.
here are weird.
Oh yeah, now that you pled guilty to that thing, I don't have a question anymore.
Alright.
Okay, that's
Poggers.
fine. That's fine.
Make sure everybody's shouting, please.
I'm shouting.
They're not asking questions, so it's back to you, Defense.
And I was not addressing the court as a whole.
Okay, so
Yeah, but
Carter is
after-
not asking her question now?
No, they're
Okay.
questioning this witness.
All right. Arya, go ahead and ask your question.
All right. Cadet Beast, I wonder if you could let us know the state of Mr. Sprinkle's vehicle when you were pursuing it.
Well, when I caught up to the chase, his back tire was flattened. We're gone.
Okay, thank you. That's the only question I had.
Do you know why that is?
Do I know why that is? No.
Yeah.
All right. Any other legal aids over here have any questions for this witness?
No, this witness isn't that important.
Damn.
Oh my god.
No, not this one. No.
Can we also please refer
Okay.
to him as the officer, as his respected rank?
Sure. Sorry. We have no further questions for this witness.
How would I know
Understood.
to
You
do
just
that?
said that.
Thank you. I was told that he was a
Alright, who's up
cadet, and I
next?
thought that was what was going on.
What? We'll send up Deputy Cop Leon.
Hello, Coplion.
Hello, is this thing on?
Yes, yeah, a little bit echoey, but it sounds good. It's clear.
Yeah, hold on. I'll adjust the
So
reverb on it real
nervous.
quick.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you today, Your Honor, for taking this bench trial. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
What now?
That's, I believe, your testimony, if you have any stuff.
What now?
I do. Give me a moment.
If he reads the statement he made.
Yes, go read his own.
Going to read your own statement.
He's 100% going to read his own
Yep.
statement.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. For a man who is
Sure.
going to attempt to murder me with an axe and then go to bench trial for it, you're goddamn right. I am
Understood.
going to do
He's-
this.
Verbatim. And it's like
Microphone check.
1,
Good, I cut the
Ten
reverb.
four.
You're sounding good. You're sounding
3,
good.
4
I
sentences.
exited the vault. Me, Copleone, exited the vault while entering. Stand by. There's. Are people going to continue to? I can't focus. I'm sorry. It's just
What
the
is
door.
making the
It's just the door. The squeak, and then it's just like I can't
No
put.
one's using it right now, so I think you're all right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Sounds.
He's gonna read his.
I myself, Cop Leone, exited the vault while collecting my paycheck. While entering my Taurus, the suspect drove his motorcycle into my Taurus, knocking off my door. I then attempted to stop the suspect, which he then refused. The suspect then brandished an axe, which I now have nightmares with a big gash in my arm to mention. And I'm now seeking physical therapy to mention.
Right.
Brandished the axe, which then he attempted to take my life and strike me down. I opened fire at the suspect, which then the suspect exited his motorcycle and struck me several times on my arm.
Wait.
That is it, Your Honor.
He must suck at
I
shoot.
then
I'm sorry.
almost bled out for my life on the ground.
I'm so sorry.
What?
Conflicting
But
statements.
you didn't die. Congratulations.
Well, didn't
and
die. Could have.
So for that, on to questions. You got anything for prosecution?
I got this, guys. I trust you.
No, right? No.
Can we ask to highlight the
We
picture
do.
like on the board?
Oh, they do. All right.
We do.
Yes, you can ask that when it's our turn.
Hey, Billy, give me a number 1 through 4 real quick.
So.
Mike.
Deputy
Number 1 through
Papillon.
4.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When you were collecting your paycheck,
Yes, sir.
normal things.
Of course.
Was Billy Sprinkle? Did he appear aggravated before the altercation?
Objection.
Objection, speculation.
Do you have a response?
Sorry, I'll let you do that. from
Do
now
I have a
on.
response?
Sorry.
No, not you. The officers to the objection.
Not speculation, just from personal experience, from being a police officer, and just from your own words.
I
This is still speculative.
personally don't quite see the relevance, so I'm going to agree with speculation. We're going to ignore that question. If you
Thank
have
you, Your
an
Honor.
objection for him, of course.
Okay, what
Because he wasn't
where
there.
where were you parked when Billy Sprinkle ran into your car door?
I was parked right in front of the vault on Alta Street. My vehicle was parked north on the side, the vault on the northern side, on Alta Street.
Wait.
Right outside the vault.
Did he just admit to escalating to lethal force?
Correct.
725, the lady.
Did he brandish? He hadn't brandished a weapon.
How fast do you believe?
Yeah, I'm whispering. I'm sorry.
Billy Sprinkle was going when he struck your car door.
Go ahead, say it.
Objection.
Okay.
Speculation.
Cross-examination, isn't it?
No rebuttal. The
Also going to provide a hand here and suggest, officer, the defendant has pled guilty to the evading. Let's try and keep it to the charges being contested, their line of questioning. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can we just object if we need to?
So after
It's better not to object to everything
after Billy Sprinkle,
because then it just
struck
makes
you
the
with
judges
the
angry.
Yeah, only if you feel the need to.
So
Don't
if he's
just
talking
be
about
petty.
useless shit,
the hatchet.
then let him talk.
How many times did he attempt to?
Yeah, but you can let him talk about
He
irrelevant
attempted
stuff because
once.
that doesn't matter.
In the beginning. So I mean, well,
Once.
I mean
She said
the
once.
first time he attempted to hit me, with his axe is when I opened fired. And then he attempted to flee, in which I got out of my vehicle, and then, I got hit. And,
What?
Almost died. Yeah. Attempted once, got out.
Okay, James.
Got on the bike, shot,
I need
got
you guys
off,
to
boom,
ask this
hit
because
me
I
again.
can't. I'm not good at that. I'm gonna fuck up.
Gotcha. So he struck you several times.
Of course. I have several gashes in my left and right arm.
Write it on a note that only us we can see.
Alright.
Need to.
Taking
So where's the medical
799 with you?
report to prove that?
Mm-hmm.
Said he
It's not evidence.
hit him, got on.
And
like,
lastly,
and-
Deputy, were you in fear of your life at any point?
Just taking for as long as you can.
Was I in fear of my life?
Yes. You at any point did you believe that? your
No, I
life
knew I was
threatened?
gonna wake up at the hospital again and be, fine. Yes, I was goddamn scared of my life. I thought I was gonna die. I was bleeding out.
It's tragic.
I almost died, man.
Jesus.
If he would have hit an artery, I would have been done.
Do we need to wait till Tiger?
Sorry, I'm
gives
just very
his
emotional.
testimony to?
No,
I almost lost my life today, and here I am in a
No,
$3,000
it's a
suit.
written statement. If
Sitting
you're
here.
referring to something in his statement, you can ask it of this guy now.
Thank you.
Because he's saying I never went
Giorgio
inside, which
Armani.
is crazy. I did.
Oh, try not to
So
get
we
blood on it.
can-
I hope you
Thank
got
you.
those bandaged up properly.
Well,
We can
at
ask
least I
him
didn't
why
get
his
striked in this.
testimony is different from Tiger's.
It's good.
Only my
Written
outfit.
and verbal.
I gotta buy a new shirt.
Okay.
Sorry, Your
I'm
Honor.
so sorry. No, I understand. I understand.
We have no further questions.
Of course.
Who wants to ask the question of how Tigers wasn't lining up?
Your
with
Honor,
Caglios?
before we ask any questions, can I ask for you to highlight a piece of evidence on the board, please? It would be the photo of the bike, BF 400.
Yeah, the bike's name is Chris Martin after the Coldplay singer.
I can't.
Nice.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I
Very
would-
dear motorcycle of mine.
You should paint the motorcycle yellow.
Oh God.
Oh, there
Thank
she
you,
is.
Your Honor.
'Cause, yeah.
I may like to point out, Your Honor, I bought that well before any of the other rats did. It was
Oh,
not
okay.
a.
Oh,
Yes,
good to know.
I was
Good
the
to know.
first to
Good
own
to
that.
know.
Heavily influences all my decisions.
Oh my god, it's my picture.
I
First
guess.
evidence, that's the
Rael,
first
do you have a
impression.
question about this
So-
evidence?
I was gonna ask about it, but if anyone wants to ask any other questions.
Go ahead. You go
Well,
first.
you ask about this one since it's already up there.
Mr. Copleon, do you recognize this bike?
Yes, I do. That is the bike that struck my vehicle and took off my door.
Do you recognize that it has a back tire missing?
Yes, I do. I think we're not blind. I think we can all see that. Thank you
Okay.
very much for pointing that out for the clarification of the obvious. Thank you, ma'am.
Competitive is all-
Oh,
Objection, hostile.
Yeah.
Can we stick to the answers and not the commentary, please?
That was an answer.
There was an answer in there. Here, we'll just move along from that one, and I won't put too much stock into the hostility. We'll,
Thank you,
we'll
Your Honor.
Try to be more polite in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell to the court what happened to that back tire?
Well, I believe that as I was attempting to shoot the suspect, one of the bullets could have possibly striked the back tire. I would assume so.
So you don't know where your bullets landed when you were
I mean,
firing your
ma'am,
service weapon?
Oh, yeah, no, of course, yes,
Sorry.
of course, yeah. I don't know where my bullets were. Ma'am, have you ever shot a gun?
I'm sorry, I'm the one asking the questions, sir.
Get
What do you want the answer to? Ask
I
your
want to
question again,
know,
please.
did you not keep track of where your bullets
I
were
did keep
fired from your
track.
service weapon?
I did. He was on the bike. The gun has
Then how-
recoil. You can't
then how do
control
you
every
not-
recoil shot.
Then how do you know? Then how is it that you don't know whether or not your bullet struck the tire?
Objection relevance.
Your Honor, this.
The suspect was on the bike.
Sir,
the shot
there's
was
an
fired
objection
towards
on
the
the
bike.
table.
Conflicting statements.
Sorry.
So bad.
Yeah,
We'll,
no, of course,
hear your
of course.
answer
Go
if
ahead.
it's relevant.
Of course, go ahead.
Grace?
Go ahead.
Okay, the relevance is that, in the statements in the police report and Mr. Copleone's own statements, he did fire his weapon. We are able to ask questions based on that according to the evidence before us. It is entirely relevant.
Sure, I'll let it stand. I want to see where they're going with it. But I'll
He
waive it
states in
before-
his statement that I got off my bike to strike him.
Go ahead,
After he initially tried to stop you, but according to Tigers,
Answer
it
what?
says that
What
you
was it?
entered into the vault first.
What was the question?
It's
Mhm.
conflicting. with
That's the
everything.
doozy. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that I'm trying to get. To
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, you need the question repeated?
Yeah, sorry, I'm partially deaf. Apologies.
No problem. My question was, how is it, if you were keeping track of where your shots went, how is it that you are only assuming that your bullet hit this tire?
Am I assuming?
You said the words assume when you were answering a question a couple minutes ago.
Did I?
Yes, you
Yes.
did.
I don't recall.
Oh my god.
Can we not bring up the fact no
I-
evidence was documented at this point?
Well, regardless
No,
of whether or
I
not you
don't
recall
recall.
saying it, you do need to answer the
best of your
question.
ability now. Yes.
Answer the best of my ability on what was the? Could you repeat the question one more time? I apologize. I'm just trying to get
Just one more
There's
time,
just the
and then
direct question, please.
All right, we don't have this go all day, but we'll go once more.
Yes, Your Honor. The question was, if you were keeping track of the bullets discharged from your weapon, how is it you only assume that one of them hit the tire?
Well, after carefully looking at the photo on the top right of the projector, I would carefully assume that as I was in fear for my life, shooting the suspect who was trying to take my life, after careful consideration of looking at said photo, I could see the potential of a bullet striking said tire, which could have led to the back tire being blown out. If that makes, if that answers your question, ma'am.
Sure. Do any of you guys have any other questions for this witness?
Yeah, I do.
The evidence. The
Go ahead.
evidence.
Deputy Corleone? What's your name? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. It's Copleone.
Copleone, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No worries.
I'm glad
It's
that you're
okay.
doing well. I'm glad
Thank
that
you,
you
ma'am.
are fine.
Thank you.
I
I really
have one
appreciate
question.
that.
No, no problem.
Today was a very hard day for me, ma'am.
I'm sure
so
it was. It's
those
never
words mean
easy
a
to
lot
be
to me.
injured.
You know,
It's
I don't
never
have a
easy to be
family, so
injured.
thank you.
You're
Oh.
welcome. No problem. I have a question for you. What attempts did you make to stop my client? Before anything else happened, what attempts did you make to stop him?
Wait, what do you mean? Like, what do you?
You attempted
What are
to
you
stop him
saying?
and he refused. What did you attempt to stop him for after your door was knocked off?
You attempted to stop the suspect to refuse.
What?
What were you tempting him?
Are you saying like?
Yes, you.
You repeat the question.
indicated-
Sorry.
Sure. What attempts did you make to stop my client when he apparently refused you?
Sir, stop
what
right
attempts
there.
did you make? I'm sorry?
Sir, stop right there.
Sir,
Which
stop
he did
right there.
not.
And he refused you,
He
correct?
refused. Yes.
What did he do after that?
And what happened at that point?
Well, he refused.
And then?
Right.
He
So what
refused.
happened next?
The suspect stopped. Okay. I asked the suspect to stop.
Yes.
Okay.
And he didn't.
He
Is that what you're
refused.
saying?
He
Right.
refused.
What did he do?
He refused. And
Right.
then what the
Objection.
suspect then?
Mhm.
Ask and answer.
What? No.
Did I not get struck by an accident?
No, you didn't.
I'm so
Your
sorry.
Honor,
Sorry,
our
ma'am.
rebuttal.
I need a moment, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Our rebuttal to that is that we are now asking a new
So
question.
just-
What happened after that? And the witness is refusing to answer.
I understand. We don't. He has already testified to the entire thing. I'll allow. Try to get an answer for this. We don't need to go
Okay.
through every step of it again.
After he refused, was my client
Sorry, Your
still
Honor.
in your presence?
You state the question again.
She's
After he
rephrasing the
refused,
question.
After he refused, was he still in your presence?
you need help with this one?
I think you just want to ask him why there's
The
a
suspect refused to stop, which then he.
And then I was traveling.
Is this a real question?
So
He
therefore,
tried to
I must
kill
have
me
been
with an
off the
axe
bike.
after I told him to stop.
Okay.
So just to clarify, he immediately turned around after refusing to stop and pulled out his axe and swung at you.
You asking me the same question, or you asking me a different question?
I'm asking you a
This is
clarifying
starting to
question.
get very nitpicky on his own testimony.
No, Your Honor, we're just asking
Because you're asking me one question, and then it's another question. I am trying to understand
That's all right. It's okay.
what you're
Okay,
asking.
okay, let me.
Okay.
Yeah, can we just have a
can
second?
Can we
I was
ask this question
clarifying
right
the
here?
exact
Somebody say
details
it.
of what occurred.
Did
It's
he
just to make sure we
ever
can-
leave
if
his
necessary,
presence?
You can get justice. Think about it that
I
way.
already did ask that.
Can we
Please
just
not
hold
answer
on?
me.
No,
I'll allow this question.
I just need.
Because you need that so that you can get to the other point about what the other officer said when he saw them separate.
So you want me to answer this?
Yes.
Ask if I was fleeing.
Yes, he was in my presence. Okay. The man brandished an axe. Okay, and then swung it at me. Okay.
I have a question for you, Mr. Leon.
Oh no.
If I was in your presence, was I fleeing at any moment?
Let me ask you.
Objection!
Okay,
I'm
okay,
asking the questions here,
okay,
Mr.
okay,
LeBone.
Okay, let me.
Was I fleeing at any
Repeat your
moment?
question, please. Repeat your
Was
question.
I fleeing at any moment?
Objection. Asked and answered.
When? When
In
did
his-
I
in his
answer that, mate?
testimony.
Then it wasn't asked. He stated it, but it wasn't asked.
He did plead guilty to evading, so
I don't get why we're asking.
Your Honor,
You know what I mean? Like.
Your Honor, we're trying to establish the attempted murder charge here and the course of events, not the reckless evading, which is why we're asking for the sequence of events in more detail.
Where
I don't
were
know
you?
if anybody can see this or not. I don't know if anybody can see the gashes on my arm.
we do still need to
This
clarify
is insanity to me.
Where?
I almost lost my life, and what is this?
All right. Well,
I have another question.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
sorry,
wait a
Your
minute,
Honor.
Mr.
This is very
Sprinkle.
emotional. I
Let's
apologize.
listen to the
Yes
judge.
or no, so sure.
Grace, can you focus on the fact that if it's an attempted murder, why didn't he shoot him in the head or the chest? He shot him in the arm.
But I'm
And
going to
he missed
brandish on a
arms.
bike, and he's going to shoot me in the back.
He hit him with a hatchet. He did not shoot him.
I mean, that, yeah, that's what I mean.
I need the question
hatchet
again
was
because
to
I'm
the
hearing
arm.
multiple conversations to my left.
There you go.
Okay.
Sprinkle. You can ask again.
All right,
That's
sure.
not gonna
Go ahead.
apply.
Me?
Was it your question that we
I
were
forgot what I
answering?
was asking.
Yes, you can ask again for clarity.
If I am to brandish an axe, you say I was on the motorcycle while I did this, Mr. LeBone?
No, that is not what I said.
I was off the motorcycle when I brandished said
to
motorcycle.
go back on what I said before.
Sir, please answer the question as provided.
I am answering the question.
Allow him to.
God damn it!
Objection!
God damn it! God damn it!
The witness is
Seriously,
angry.
when I
Billy,
ask a question,
Billy.
but I get no.
I'm
chance.
answering the question. You know,
Oh, shut up.
you're
Oh,
putting
shut up.
words in my mouth.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Professional.
It's all right,
professional,
Copley, and I understand this is very
professional,
stressful.
Professional.
It's
Professional.
okay.
Sorry.
Go for it.
As stated earlier, okay, you were asked to stop, which you then refused. You then brandished an axe and attempted to strike me. And then you attempted to take off on a motorcycle, which then I opened fired. Then my arm He then got off the motorcycle as I was out of my vehicle and struck me several times with an axe. That is my answer.
I have a couple of questions if you guys want to let me cook.
I
But
have one
I'm trying to
too.
give it people
I'm
opportunity.
gonna stop asking questions because my lawyers are advising me shut the fuck up, man.
If you
Yeah,
don't
Billy,
ask
let us
one,
ask the question.
if you don't
Wait,
ask my
your
question,
lawyers
I
have a
will
question.
state mine. But go ahead.
You
and
guys,
ask yours
I'm
first.
not
No, you go,
saying
you
another
go.
No,
thing.
you go first. You go first.
No, you
No, I
guys
already
do it.
asked a couple in the beginning.
You're
you
fine.
ask
Go
her.
ahead.
Go.
You said you have a
Wait,
couple.
Ava,
I
are you
only have-
finished with your questions?
I have one more, but I'll let Rail do hers because I think she might be doing that one.
Just go first, Rail. It's
Okay,
fine.
go Rael.
Okay. Mr. Copleone,
Yes, ma'am.
as Miss Sprinkle went into the bank, were you aware of the condition of the bike?
Of who?
Were you aware of the condition of the bike?
That's not what I asked. I said
Objection,
who.
relevance.
Objection.
Sprinkle.
Relevance.
Who, me? I've only been away for 6 months.
Do you have a response, defense?
It is relevant, but due to the state of the bike that was in.
What is happening?
Open the scope
What-
earlier.
We opened the scope already for it
What's the
earlier.
relevance of the bike to the attempted murder charge?
We're getting there. We're asking for a little bit of leeway, Your Honor.
They're
No.
cooking,
I
apparently.
feel like we've been getting there for ages now. It's just going on
It
for ages.
really does. I would like to hurry it along, but go for it.
Yeah, I
Since
have
this
a
is
fine line of questioning,
go
Your
for
Honor.
it.
It's important.
I'm getting irritated.
All right, go for it.
Again, when Mr. Sprinkle went into the bank, were you aware of the state of the bike?
The only issue I'm trying to get across is he said earlier
didn't go
in his
in the
own
bank.
testimony that he was trying to shoot Sprinkle. And so if that's self-defense,
She said I didn't go in the bank.
Yeah, there we go. That's what.
Alright. Perfect.
I said I never went
Now
in.
You ask the question.
I never
Free
said he
my
went in.
boy Billy.
There was no testimony about
When
him
did
going
I?
into
When
the
did I
bank.
say he went in the bank?
Your Honor, can we have everything after his answer stricken, please? His question about when he said things, etc.
Which? Okay.
I am
What
so
the-
confused.
What
What's
was the mic
happening?
stricken?
He never went in the
The
bank.
part where he asked about when he said that. So after his answer, when he asked the question, we want that question and everything he said after stricken.
What does stricken mean?
Means it doesn't
Removed
count.
From the record, yes. What's your reasoning for that?
Well, Your Honor, we've already mentioned a few times that he is not in the position to be asking questions. He is here to answer questions, and that his additional comments after his answers, etc., including questions, you have asked him to not do that. So we are asking for those to be stricken.
I think at this point, you've asked for leeway. I'm going to give both sides leeway. He's obviously distressed based on what happened. I think I can weigh things accordingly.
Okay, I
He
can
never-
re-ask a different question.
He never left
Okay,
Copleone's
as
presence.
the bike interacted with your vehicle, did the bike have 2 tires at that point?
These are pointless questions.
None of this is relevant.
None of it is.
These are unnecessary questions.
None of this is
Objection, relevance. We're talking attempted murder here. What does this have to do with
the only
tires?
thing that matters.
I
is
have
the
no
fact that he
idea yet,
shot at him
but
first.
they're
And whatever
very
he did
determined
after
that it does.
happened after he
I'm
shot
just.
at him.
You know what? I can't ask questions. Never
And then
mind.
when he did injure
Sorry.
it was to his arm, not his hand,
Your Honor,
not
we
his neck.
we do ask for leniency with some of the questions as the legal aids are new and this is a learning court.
I understand, but at a certain point, we can't sit here for hours going back and forth about the exact specifics of it. So, if
All right,
you'd like one more question, then we can wrap up this line of questions.
Ask your question.
All right,
I was trying
let's.
to grab the
I
scope
know.
towards the why Billy was
I know.
aggressive towards.
I know.
Me?
I know. But we only have one question left. So Roman or Ava?
Okay, the question I'm going to ask is, did he
That's the matter.
hatchet you before or after you attempted to shoot him? But instead, hit
I like
the
that
tire
one.
instead.
So do we point out the differences?
That one question, so you have to choose
I'm
which
sure
one is
whatever
better.
you're trying to
Talk about the
Do we
hot
point out
today.
the differences in testimony when Tiger gets on the stand?
Deciding on the question.
Yeah, do that when he gets on the stand.
Yeah, just-
Roman, what's your question?
I'm gonna do it when Tiger gets on the stand.
'Cause
Okay,
that's where
okay.
Right now, because it's just becoming too much right here with this one.
Okay, Ava, ask your question. You'll be our last one. All right, for our final question, I'm turning it over to Ms. Devereaux.
Go for it.
Deputy Copleone,
Yes, ma'am.
I have one question. I'm going to try to make it as concise as possible because I know you've been through a lot today.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would just like to know, did my client take a hatchet to you before or after you opened fire on him and hit his bike instead, particularly the back tire?
Who shot first, Han Solo or the dude?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Sure.
It was a bit of a long one. Yeah, go for it.
Did my client take a hatchet to you before or after you opened fire on him but hit the back tire instead?
Objection asked and answered. This was stated in his
Didn't,
testimony.
didn't we already say this?
We did not.
We did not ask this, Your Honor. And this is
I'll
our
allow it
final
since I said
question
yes,
you've
so
given
that's
us,
alright.
so.
If you can answer this one, then we'll move on.
I stated before that he attempted with the axe to strike me and take off on the motorcycle.
Your Honor, he's not answering the question. We're asking
What-
when. We're asking when
understand. If you
Mr.
can try to
Sprinkle
more
made
concisely
contact.
answer.
Sure. Okay. Did Mr.
Well,
did
I
Mr.
wouldn't just
Sprinkles
shoot
hatch?
him for, you know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna shoot
Sir,
the man.
I'm asking.
Unless
the
I was a
question to you.
tire.
I'm asking, did Mr. Sprinkle strike you with the hatchet before or after you shot at him?
You're asking me if he striked me
Yes, if he struck you with the
before
hatchet.
before
Before
Let's
or
not answer with
after?
a question.
Before and
Just
after.
answer to the best of your ability. Before or and after.
Yeah,
Whatever
before
your
and after. Yeah.
So he hit you the before and after you shot him.
He was
made contact.
attempting to take my life.
So he did not.
That's
to
not the
which
question
I
I'm
shot.
asking, sir. Did he make contact with you before or after you shot at him?
Objection asked and answered.
I'm trying to get an answer for the
Okay.
actual question I'm asking.
I did allow this question, and since you struggled to answer, I'll continue to allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is so.
Do you need the question
I
repeated,
am trying
sir?
to figure out how to answer this question because I've just answered it multiple times. So please
not-
ask it again.
Did Mr. Sprinkle's hatchet strike you before or after you shot him?
Before and after.
Okay.
So just
Alright.
to clarify, his axe
Fair.
made contact with you before you shot him.
Before and after.
It made contact. Yes.
Before and
Wait.
after.
Yes or no? Did it
Before?
make contact before you shot him?
The
Yes.
answer's
Before
clear
and
to me.
after.
It's before and after would be yes. It did
All
happen
right.
before. I
All
will
right.
accept
Interesting.
that answer. That was
All
clear
right.
enough.
Okay, this one, that.
That was our last question per your ruling, Your Honor.
All right. Obviously, we can dive further into this. At this point, we're just asking a lot of the same questions. All right. I'd
Should
say
we
here
highlight
you
the
are,
lack of
you're attorney.
evidence
Do we have a
surrounding
third
like anything?
witness from
You know what I mean? Like from like the scene of being hit by an axe and all that shit.
You could say the lack of
Yeah, we have
casings
Tiger.
because
Yeah, lack of-
Are they bringing the
because of
other
the
officer?
gunshots.
Tony
You say
Tiger's
lack of
coming up.
casings.
There you go.
You can
Tiger.
ask him
Roman.
when
Question
Tiger
from me
comes.
first.
You got it, man.
What kind of a name is that? Do your parents hate you?
God.
My God.
Oh my God.
Excuse me?
When
I
Tiger
didn't come to
comes
court
on,
to be
Either I
Thank
can
you
ask
for
talked
him
It's
down
so
bringing
about
up
upon.
a good
being
point,
great.
and I think that
No, it's not
when they
names,
turn it
it's
over
like
to the
totally
defense,
different.
I am
we should
I am a
specify
proud
and
member
highlight
of the
that lack
Tiger
of
family,
evidence.
and I'm happy with the
Okay.
name that my parents
Okay.
gave
Lack
me.
of
We won't get a
evidence.
Well, at
closing,
which
but we will
point-
be
yeah,
allowed to
but-
highlight evidence.
Okay, yeah,
Lack
but
of
like after
evidence
like
and the
after
fact
we
that
talk to
he
Tiger,
saw
then we
them
can highlight the
separate.
evidence
So
like
had
Would you
they
like
before
me
they
to
saw them,
continue
deliberate.
with my
nothing else would have
testimony
happened.
now?
We can't highlight evidence
All
until
right.
it's our turn. They have to rest their
Well,
case
I
and turn
was
it over to us.
on routine patrol along
Are we gonna
Vinewood
also make sure
Boulevard.
that they know
I
about the
came
separation thing?
up to the
Listen.
bank where there's red light. I stopped. I observed Deputy Copleone speaking with an individual next to the bank. I observed the individual walking towards the bank. My light turned green, so I continued westbound on Vinewood.
And
I made it to the next set of lights when I started hearing gunshots. I activated my lights, turned around to investigate the gunshots. Came back to the vault where I observed Deputy Copleone bleeding on the ground, struggling for his life. And I observed the accused standing next to his motorcycle with a hatchet in his hand. He got on his motorcycle. I called the incident over the radio. The accused then fled from me on his motorcycle.
My motorcycle was on the
around
floor
the bank and southbound on Meteor.
Incident happened, so I
where
had to pick it
we
up.
Came to Occupation and Elgin intersection, at which point my fellow officers had staged up and fired their weapons at the accused, incapacitating him.
Understood. Prosecution, do you have questions for?
Yeah, so, Tony, Officer Tiger.
Yes, sir.
When you were pulling past the city vault, at that point, did you notice Deputy Copleone's door missing? You recall?
I couldn't see the door missing just because I was on the passenger side of the vehicle. I did hear them talking about a missing door. I just didn't observe it myself because I was on the wrong side of the vehicle.
Gotcha. And when you were attempting to, let me step back. So you heard the shots fired, 78s pop on. When you were attempting to stop Billy on his motorcycle, did you notice that his rear tire was gone?
Yes, his rear tire was missing as he was fleeing from the incident. Sorry, as he was fleeing from the vault. I'll clarify.
At any point, did you see Billy with the hatchet?
Yeah, when I arrived on scene, he was holding the hatchet in his hand next to his motorcycle.
And did Mr. Sprinkle attempt to yield or give himself up at any time?
No.
That's all I have.
Really evading stuff.
Anyone else from the prosecution? Are we good to proceed?
So did you
No,
want to
I'm
clarify
good.
that he said that he witnessed him entering the vault, but in his statement he said that he walked towards the vault?
Yeah, you can bring that up.
Bring up the fact that he said that he saw that he witnessed him speaking, but in his statement he says a verbal altercation.
In his both of the statements, he did say he saw him enter the vault. I'm
Yeah.
90% sure. So.
Do you want to bring that up?
He said
somebody else can, because my brain right now is.
Yeah, I can. I have the question written down.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll ask that question and then because
Go
I
for
mean,
it, Karen.
because like Billy, is it our turn?
Yes, they've given
Okay.
the floor to us.
Hi, Officer Tiger. My question for you today is: when you were leaving the initial scene, did you witness the accused enter the vault?
No, I did not.
Then why is it in your statement?
Statement?
Bring that up. Bring that up.
Bring it up. Talk. I just had a tooth ripped out of my fucking face and I'm here.
I'll do it, I'll do it, Evan.
Go, Arya. Go for it.
I'm sorry.
So,
Okay,
hello,
go ahead, Arya.
Officer Tiger. So the reason we asked for clarification is in your written statement, you said that you observed the accused enter the vault and separate from Copleone. So you're saying now that you did not see him enter the vault.
Yeah, I might have miswrote. It was a dynamic situation. I did observe the individual walking towards the entrance to the vault when the light turned green.
But you, okay. Wasn't sure if I was able to add on to that.
Should I
Officer Tiger, when did you write your statement for this report? Was it during or after the incident?
It was after the incident.
Thank you.
How is it dynamic at that point? What?
We like
That's my point. Okay, anybody else got any questions for him?
Can we ask like to try and highlight the damage of the bike before the pursuit even happened?
I don't necessarily think that's going to be relevant, unfortunately.
Because the only reason why Billy did this because the bike was in that state.
Well, the bike wasn't damaged at that point.
It's better to ask those questions to Billy.
I'll ask him about my bike being on the floor.
Ava?
Mr. Red Hair Man, top hair.
Officer
When you saw my motorcycle, was it not standing or was it on the floor?
It was standing.
No, it wasn't. When it was on the floor, but okay. I have
Objection. Defenses. Testify.
no, I have low IQ. You can't do that.
Sorry. Turn to testify later.
Okay, I don't have no more questions.
Alright, then we will move past that one.
Yes, thank you. We'll withdraw that, or his statements after the question. You'll have your turn to testify if you want to later.
Who was the one that was going to do a wag
It's that point. I'm glad to hear you.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions?
I wanted to try and avoid him testifying, but if he has to testify, he kind of has to now.
Okay, wait. Hang on. Sorry, Ava. Tell me your thing, and then I'll hear Ray.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
That's okay. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if
I'll
the
stop.
shooting was what brought him back there, why was no forensics done there?
Yes.
That's a good
Go.
question.
Yes.
Go ask that. Go ask that. Go ask that. Yep.
Officer Tiger?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I have one question for you.
Yes.
If the shooting is what brought you back to the scene, was any evidence collected at the scene, such as casings, to indicate who shot? Or did you just assume that the hatchet was the reason your fellow officer was on the ground?
I was working on chasing the individual who I saw with a hatchet who was leaving the scene, so I wasn't focused on collecting evidence. So that would be a question to ask whoever collected evidence.
Thank you. Are you aware if anyone did?
It would be John Castle.
I'm unaware.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I answer that question?
You have not been sworn in to
aware-
testify.
Oh, you're aware? Okay, perfect.
I believe I'm aware of the
Alright,
situation
beautiful.
with the evidence, and that it might have been some issue. with
What?
The storm, coming a little earlier than the weather report expected.
Yeah, the
if it
storm was a little
that,
tricky on us there.
Yes. Then
Are you
unfortunately,
serious?
I'm probably going to disregard any questions regarding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so evidence is completely alright.
Yep.
If they couldn't have gathered.
Okay.
It's bullet holes in the back of me fucking tire, though.
That's not really their
If it was analyzed professionally.
No, but it's not ours either.
We can't do anything about this then. Right here
Yeah.
after
Nope.
that.
Anybody have anything they want to ask him about?
I do,
anything?
about his
Okay.
statement again. if I
Okay, go
can.
for it, please. Go ahead, Ava.
Officer Tiger, I have one more question, if you can bear with me a moment. I would just like to clarify one more thing from your initial statement.
Yes.
Here you testified that you witnessed my client and the officer in question having a conversation. and even implied that you heard some of it. But in your statement, you said that you observed a verbal altercation. When you see a fellow officer in a verbal altercation, do you usually just keep going?
If I'm not requested as backup, it really depends on the situation. I thought the altercation was over. That's why I continued driving.
May I ask why you thought the altercation was over?
Because I saw the accused walking away from the officer.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else have any questions? All right, Rael, your questions about the bike are good, but since he didn't see the shooting, he only came back to the incident when the shooting happened. I don't think that the questions you want to ask for this witness are relevant.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, anybody else? Last call for questions?
Nope, I'm good.
We're kind of fucked on the bike.
All right,
too, because of
yeah, the defense is finished cross-examining this witness. Thank you, Your Honor.
You may step back, Officer Tiger. Hey, what's your favorite cereal, by any chance?
Fruit Loops.
Mediocre.
Never quite liked those.
Love me some Frosted.
They're great.
Yes,
They
perfect.
are.
Thank you.
They are.
All right, Billy. Would you like to waive your Fifth Amendment right and testify?
I will speak about just what happened and stuff.
Perfect.
Okay.
I, at this point, am absolutely desperate to hear it because I'm so fucking confused. So, let's go.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and yes, today we witnessed police brutality on a level
Oh my God.
that has been unheard of. I, Billy Bruce Springsteen Sprinkle, left
Gonna
my
die.
home
Gonna fucking
after
die.
6 months of hibernation. I proceeded to go north, which is upwards, to the vault to cash my paycheck, which was probably going to be about $400,000. As I proceeded up north, I observed a police vehicle parked on the side. The door opened and hit me as I drove. I collided with the door and amply pulled to the front to speak with the officer, who got out and was bald. He was quite irate about the situation. I said to him, mate, it ain't my problem.
Stop.
Shouldn't have had your door open. You should have been smart like me and had no doors. I've done you a favor. Upon saying that, I was quite amused with myself and proceeded to go into the bank, where Mr. Coppeleone went, And I quote that, Mr. Coppeleone, because you reminded me of a Teletubby, a popular children's program from the mid-2000s, Judge. I then commented on this about being a Teletubby, and then turned again to go back into the bank. He said, come back, and I said another funny joke about the only cum I will ever put is on your chin. He gave me no lawful orders to stop, and I proceeded into the bank. Upon proceeding into the bank, I heard him make a few grumble statements like, it's indiscernible, Judge. I believe it was angry speak for I'm gonna show him. Upon this, I went into said bank, but being street smart, I knew he was trying to pull one over on me. So I was ready, and I peeked out the door and observed not only him, but him, I'm referring to him twice because he's bald and now he ain't, aiming his 5.7 at my back tire. He proceeded to fire multiple shots into it to the point where it went and burst. Enraged by this, but also fearing for my life, I drew my hatchet and started to square with him like, what you good? Hey, stop it, fuck off, and shit like this. He then, right, goes in his car as I'm like trying to get him away from it because I ain't taking that shit. I'm like not having it. I was scared. He's a crazy cop. He got in his car, drove forward a bit, and then I like was like, fuck, he's gonna shoot me. I'm not having this because in the South Side we taught shoot first, never ask questions, and never speak. So I lunged at him hit him with it. Not only tipped him, only hit him on the arm. He's
This
being a
actually
right
is
wimp
kinda
about
ruining the
it.
case
Hit
anyways.
him on the arm. I was like, oh, right. Now he ain't gonna hurt my bike anymore, which was on the floor, mate. It was on the floor. And then I was like, oh, fuck, he's gone on the floor because he's all soft in this. So I didn't want to hurt him, I just wanted to get him away from it. And bloody Tony, the bloody redhead idiot over there, comes up, starts going, oi, what you doing? I'm like, right, none of this. Hops on me bike, back wheel's gone, so I'm buggered. I had to wheelie that bastard, non-recklessly, may I add. I was being very, very, very safe. And then he blipped it, and then beep, 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 and they all shot me. And it ain't on Judge. It's Judge corruption on a level that would dismantle my face.
What?
That's all that happened. I was awake for 9 minutes.
Awake for 9 minutes.
Well, very enlightening. Thank you.
Proof.
Damn, sounds like a Disney movie. That's crazy.
Well, you the
Wrote a
villain
whole
in this.
script.
It did.
Wrote
was
a
the
whole
villain.
script and everything. That's crazy.
Use a villain in this, mate.
Wow.
I just heard a lot of badgering.
like it.
Goddamn.
It's a lot
All
of-
right. Well,
Filled with a lot of
questions.
something.
Let's.
All right.
does
Do you guys have any questions for
fill me
Mr.
down,
Sprinkle?
at
Is
least.
this,
Not at the moment,
is
I
this
gotta
over
work
now?
on something.
No, not for
Sorry,
45.
whatever.
We're on to questions.
I have to work on something because he just fucked something.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Rael, Arya, Karen?
Who's asking me? My side or...
Would we ask him if
We
he-
are working on some
Supervising
questions.
go.
Just a quick moment, Your Honor.
I mean, to
At
tell me
any point did you fear for your
read
life?
his whole Disney script and
Does he say
you
you
didn't
were
have any
bald and you're
questions
no
already?
longer? Is that a wig?
You need to have him
Me
clarify.
or him?
No.
Yeah, it
If
is
you
a
ask
wig.
for
a
that,
wig.
you
It's
He's
a
can
wig.
jealous.
Sorry,
I
so
can't
you're
grow
jealous.
hair.
What do you
I have a
want me to
medical
do?
condition, and I bought a wig because I'm very insecure that I cannot grow hair. Thank you.
Ava, come over here. I
I've been
can't hear
doing
you.
them
They're
all.
way too loud.
So, laugh, yep.
You looked just fine when we saw you down there.
Listen,
before.
but
That's fine.
I know the
Laugh,
result.
yeah, there you go.
Put
Go ahead,
duct
laugh.
tape on your face, and then it'll stop growing out your face and onto your hair. That's how it works.
No.
Great idea. Try that.
Because it's like, oh, I can't get out, and then it just goes on your head.
Yeah,
Slam
with
dunk,
the,
if I may
with
say
the
so.
fact that there was no evidence that they could get apparently from the place,
Yes,
that really
yes,
fucks us
we can.
over.
Yeah.
That angle.
Yeah, the fact that we.
Would have been nice to know that before all of
Yeah,
this.
that's the thing. Like, even the judge was aware of that fact, but like we weren't informed that the evidence couldn't be collected for a valid reason. But I don't know if we can actually say anything about that.
I mean, the biggest thing.
No. What you want to talk about is like anything that's centered around where the altercation starts, up until the point where the altercation ends with Caplione. You know what I mean? So like, where the point where he's brandishing the axe because of Caplione attempting to shoot out his tire, up into like and all that shit. Because you really want to like focus on the point where he's like, well, he brandished the axe because of the fucking. Well, yeah, he was like, went back and saw the cop going to shoot
Yeah,
his shit.
the cop had the gun out first, and he was fearful
I got
for his
5
life.
lawyers for this.
If we had
Think.
if we had the casings of where he was outside of the
How many shots he put into
outside
my
of there,
rear
right?
tire?
And we might find one
Mr.
that's like
Larry.
off by itself in a random spot where his bike may have been. That
Yeah.
would have been the thing that would have helped us out on this, being that Capuleon shot his
Magically,
tire and
evidence
escalated the
disappeared.
situation, and then things continued on from there. We're going off of just Capuleon's
yes.
testimony, which
Yeah, it's
Capuleon's
a he
testimony
said, she
is,
said at this point.
well,
Yeah.
but the thing
It
is,
is.
his testimony holds
Alright, are you ready,
higher
Ava?
regard than
One
Billy's.
second.
Okay.
The other thing
My
about
brother
it
in
is,
Try to
Christ. You do not
highlight how
understand the
much he
pain. The
likes his bike and that the bike being attacked brought him emotional duress.
I think that's more of like a civil thing.
Yeah.
and we can't do that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not gonna fly here.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, at this point, we can only work on, what actually factually happened, etc.
The
Not
biggest-
necessarily how he felt
So-
about it.
Since. Oh, God.
So what I wanted to ask, or gets one of you could ask if you want to, if who hasn't asked, because I've asked a bunch, is I want him to clarify that when he went after him in the car with the hatchet, that was when he attempted, like he said in his statement, Napoleon, he attempted to hit, so that was the attempt. so that we are clear that when the other one shot at the tire, when he was attempting to shoot him, that actually came first before he came at him with the hatchet after and actually made contact with his arm. Because the way he said it right there makes it sound like he went after him with the hatchet first and everything else came after that. And that has to be cleared up.
Well, didn't Caplione admit that he shot before and after being...
No, he said the hatchet struck him before and after he shot.
And in his own statement, he said it was an attempt, and then he attempted to leave, and then he, shot him, and then shot at him, whatever, and then he got actually made contact with the hatchet. So I want him to say right now that when he went after him, when he got in the patrol car, that was the attempt with the hatchet because he thought he was going to get shot. So then everything else can be back to what they said previously, which would be that he made an attempt to at him with the hatchet, then he got back on the bike to get away, and then he shot him. He said that he was trying to shoot him, instead shot the tire, and that's when he got off the bike and then went after his arm, which he could have gone after his head, his neck if he was trying to kill him. That's to get away from the attempted murder of a government official. I went after your arm and I didn't go for an artery. I could have, you know what I mean?
The way that you're asking that, sure, you could try and say that, but at the same time, it's any kind of bodily harm that's going to be
Questions ready yet?
done to him.
There you go.
So
All right.
even if you try,
Okay,
like
so
even
I'm
if you
done.
hit him in the arm, it is like an attempt on him. It is attempted murder. If you
Oh, we're giving them.
MDW for the charge.
Right. Well,
Excuse me, justice does not have a time
Okay,
scale,
well,
Aaron.
that's all I have. So anyone who has any
You
ideas,
should have let me go then,
Go
because
ahead.
he's
So
more
should we
corrupt than
be focusing
LimeWire.
on the fact
someone.
that
I did not. He
he
ruined
was
BF
fearing for his
400.
life and he was trying
The
to
The marks on my arm say
Billy.
otherwise.
All right,
Leave
I'm gonna let
LimeWire
you
out of
guys-
this. Move on to E-Donkey.
The hospital
I'm going to let you guys
report
ask the questions because
says otherwise.
it's
The
a little too hard to hear.
painkillers that I have
You
been
guys just need to ask your
ingesting
questions. If somebody else asks a question that's yours,
the physical
just mark it off your
therapy
list
that I have
and ask
signed
the
up
other
for
one.
says
Okay?
otherwise.
All right, so
I'm gonna have to.
Sorry.
Billy, don't do anything.
I'm gonna have to step away.
I was just
I'll
going
just start
to-
screaming him out.
It's-
I don't
it's
have
not-
no problem. I'm good at being
I'm sorry
loud.
that he got it
I mean,
because
the
of his
biggest
own
thing that we
incompetence.
should really be looking
Alright,
at,
are you ready,
in a
Ava,
sense, is the
to ask some
discrepancy
questions?
between
But
Caplion's
it's okay.
statement
What I mean.
and
because I don't
Tyre's,
think it's
and
going to
then
help at this point.
and then the
That's
fact
what I'm saying.
we
Just
gotta ask
go
something.
after something
and then the
else.
fact that he made the
Little-
statement that it
little
was a
scram on
dynamic.
his
Because
arm.
from what y'all said, it's not going to make a difference, so it's going to waste time, and they're just going to get more angry.
I'm like,
Okay, last call for questions. Anybody? Okay, I'll ask a couple.
I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Sprinkle.
Yes, yes.
You stated in your testimony that your first swings with the hatchet were to get him away from your bike. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was messing about with it, and that ain't procedure. I know cops ain't allowed to shoot cars and bikes and stuff if there's no one in them. It's like,
And-
I was like, just get away. Like that.
All right. So was your intent to murder the officer at that point?
Absolutely no way. Never.
What the
Alright.
fuck?
And
Was
respect
that-
him.
Are you fucking? I am sorry.
Excuse me,
Excuse me.
comment,
Oh,
please.
But let's let the line of questions.
My
He's doing it again.
This
He's
is
doing it
insane.
again.
This is
Prosecution
insane. I
had
hope
their
you know
turn,
that.
Your Honor.
This is
The
insane.
prosecution
I am
had
so
their turn.
sorry.
I
This is
agree, I
insane.
understand the
Should
full
we
case is
ask?
insane, but
Should we
no,
ask if it was his
we'll let
intention
it
to
go.
murder him when he shot
Okay,
at
just-
him
yeah,
with
please,
the
go
bike
ahead.
instead?
Judge,
please.
I need help. They're
We can
threatening
continue
me.
the line of questioning.
I don't believe they're threatening
Caplio,
you.
shut the
You're
fuck
right.
up and let me just get
You're
on with
safe
it.
in here.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I heard what happened to
Continue
James
answering
Randall. You're gonna shoot me with my hands up.
Oh my god. Well, that is James Randall. So that...
Oh God.
Well, that is James
All
Randall.
right. Sorry,
Different.
Mr. Sprinkle.
It's okay.
Are you okay to continue?
Yes, but he can't keep
can't.
getting
Okay.
away with it.
Well,
Civil
you know,
suit.
I agree, but it's not in my control to deal with
Yeah, I
that.
know.
I'm sorry.
I'm perfectly able to answer questions at this time.
Okay. And after the officers after Officer Caplione opened fire on you and you came back, was it your intention then to murder the officer?
You what, mate? When he shot me, like, oh, what do you mean?
Well, when he shot you and you came back again with the hatchet, were you intending to kill him?
Well, he got in his car and drove off, and then got back out to shoot me. So I had to because he was mad. He's shooting a back tire, and then he put it off and got in a car.
I'm sorry to
drove
have to do this,
forward, and I was
but
like, I don't know.
this
he's gonna
man was
shoot
able to
me
take
next. I
him
was like,
down
"All right,
with a hatchet, and he had a
And I had
gun
to
and
because
couldn't
it
take
was
him
me
down
or him
first.
at that point. I
Sorry,
was
I'm
fearful
giggling.
for my life
Objection.
from police brutality.
Doing a narrative.
I mean, he is answering the question.
I'm answering it, yeah.
It's a very long answer.
Yeah, well, it's a
it's a
very
long one.
complicated
We've had a
case
lot
of
of
police
those,
corruption.
so-
This has been going on for 4 hours, just a reminder.
Correction, 3 hours and 21 minutes.
Oh my God, really?
Minus 9 minutes.
I don't have any more questions for Mr. Sprinkle. Do any of you guys have any questions for Mr. Sprinkle?
No.
All right. No more questions from the defense for Mr. Sprinkle.
All right, Mr. Sprinkle. Sorry, Your Honor. I didn't mean to cut you off. Mr. Sprinkle.
Yeah.
You swung your hatchet at Deputy Corleone, yes or no? Copleone.
It's okay. It's a mistake.
Copleone.
It's fine.
Yes or no?
What is this? What this is a very loaded
Did you swing
question.
your hatchet at Deputy Copleone?
When?
At any time today?
When I exited the bank, I swung
Yes
it to
or
say,
no? Did you swing your hatchet at Deputy Copleone?
Objection, relevance.
What?
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 You
very relevant.
already stated that you did. I need a confirmation. Yes or no? Did you swing your hatchet at Deputy Copleone any time today?
Defend my life.
He just said objection
Yes
relevant.
or no?
Just say yes.
He answered the question, Your Honor. He said yes.
He did answer the question.
How many times did you swing your hatchet at Deputy Copleone today?
Once.
I want to remind you that after you asked for a lawyer, and also I read you your rights, so 2 times Mirandized, you stated that you swung multiple times today, and I want
Your
to
Honor,
remind you that
counsel
perjury,
is testifying.
that perjury is a charge.
There is
We
an
don't need
objection
to-
on the floor.
Oh.
Look at that! Look at that!
And it's happening again. Oh God.
Fuck.
Look
Nope.
at what?
Now we
Okay.
hold off.
The
Get
2
him out of his
people that
boots.
we
How could lasagna do
what
that?
happened? You're still here. I will.
Bunch
say.
of people
still
that got
going
abducted.
Threatening a witness
Copleone.
of perjury. He will answer
Oh.
however he sees fit.
Oh, no.
Find
here we
that
go.
he's perjured in some way that will do that.
I mean,
Copy.
I'm still
That's
good.
another one.
I mean, okay. I'll
There were also,
slowly
counsel
going.
was testifying, and there was no facts not in evidence for his statement.
copy. I'll strike that. It's fine.
That's the judge's.
He's gonna strike it.
He can withdraw.
it.
I think
You can
that's what he meant.
withdraw, Yeah.
I don't care about the specific wording. I know what he meant.
Focusing too much on the bike is just not the thing, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we should focus more on the actual injury so that it can be more of on, is this something that somebody would do if they're actually trying to kill someone? And I keep saying it, he went for his arm. The arm has the artery,
Yeah.
yes, but if most people know where the artery is, especially because if you think that, but if you go literally directly
Are you
to kill,
whispering
if
it,
you
Beth?
want, yes, I am.
Just making sure.
Yeah, if you want to kill somebody, if I want to kill you and I have you down and I have a hatchet and I want you dead, your head is right there, your neck is right there, your chest is right there. I can hatchet. I can kill you easily. I can cut off your wrist. I can hatchet you at your wrist where your actual artery is, and you bleed out. I could do all of the spots and make sure that you bleed to death before anybody can get you. I can do that, and he didn't.
And there's
He
also
did
the
not even
fact
hit an
that
artery.
there's-
He said that.
There's no medical report for the exact injuries, so.
There is a medical report. He said so.
But it's not in evidence.
It's not in
so-
evidence, so.
But it should be.
If
But
anything,
that's not our fault. That's their
But,
fault, and we can
also-
highlight that it's not in evidence.
Yeah,
But
lack
also,
of
what's his
evidence.
name? Corleone. He said it himself while he was at that. The medical report says so. That the artery, that he almost died. He didn't. Thank God it didn't hit an artery. He said that.
Right. We can
So
bring that up if that
you
was
can
his
bring-
testimony.
Yeah, I'm just saying focus on the charge that we're trying to get him reduced. Was attempted
Right. It's like
Yeah.
attempted
the
murder of
way
a grand official.
My thing is, I love that they're complaining about how long this case is taking, and all they really needed to do was cave
Drop one charge.
slightly. Yeah, cave
Yeah.
slightly on that for a lesser charge, and we never would have had to do this. But
But I
they're that
also-
stubborn, but then they're going to complain that we're taking too long.
Oh yeah, never listen to them when they're complaining about time because they will waste just as much time on purpose, if not more.
The biggest thing that, like, straight off the bat, instead of the bike, since the fact after we heard that we couldn't get casings because of a storm, everything about the bike should have just been dropped
Like, why
right
is he right
there.
behind
I
us?
disagree because the counterpoint was to try and highlight his motive for the first hatchet incident,
It would be
and then to argue,
motive.
and then to argue as well that
Yeah.
he didn't try to murder him, but yet tried to defend himself on the argument that he tried to defend his property.
I don't think I don't think that's really relevant. Also, because of the fact that we don't need the casings, because their own admission, his own admission in his testimony, is that he was attempting to shoot Billy, and instead he took out the back tire instead. So he's voluntarily saying that he shot. So he's saying that.
Okay, so wait a second, just let me say something. So
Yeah.
Billy's told us that he entered. Tiger's testimony literally said that he was entering. He was entering. The,
No.
He was entering the bank, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Tiger said that, and then he retracted, or he made a thing to saying the event was dynamic, even though after the fact, his statement was made after the fact. Okay, all that. But
Yeah.
beside the point was, Copleone.
What with that?
Okay, the thing is, Copleone said that pretty much at no time did Billy leave his sight.
Is that anybody else or was it just me?
Tiger says that there was.
It was Billy, and he's having some troubles.
Oh, I had some troubles too.
There was literally a
Guys, I
time
feel
when
bad. You guys should just leave.
there was literally a time where Billy literally left
I could do
Copleone's
this.
sight.
I could do
and
this.
Copleone says that he never left it. That was one thing, right?
I am so
Billy
sorry.
said he
Oh.
went in
You guys have
and
to
then
use your prayers.
heard
I'm
a
so sorry
taser,
you
heard
responded
something
to
get
this.
shot
Sorry,
outside,
I'm
being his
here for
tires,
it.
and then went outside and saw him do that. Then brandishes hatchet. My brain is on fire right now. Anyways,
You're good.
brandished
Oh, he's back.
his hatchet. Okay.
Pissing now.
But it. But
Does that mean I
because
don't have to
Copleone
ask that,
shot his
answer
thing.
that question
If
now
we
because I
had
went
a-
head
If
funny?
we had a cartridge there, or I mean, if we had a casing there after the fact,
I was
we
where
would have
was
been able
I? I
to
was
go
in
further on
duress
that
or
and
something.
show that he possibly.
They're
escalated
asking you
the
more
situation
questions.
there, but-
Oh
That's
no!
right.
You
But the
swung
thing
your
is, that's not-
hatchet. No!
Deputy
We're
Copy
just saying
best
go for the
today.
attempted murder.
One.
So why did he do that?
Yes. Once.
Once.
Second time was.
Oh, thank you,
First time was
Kaiser.
just to get him away. Was a warning.
The best way, I guess, to move
And the
forward.
second time?
Because he was gonna shoot me because he got distance, which was a 6 strap, but it didn't work because I got like lunged. Like watch this.
Right.
Oh God.
See how fast I can lunge.
So more than once.
There.
At him once, and the general air of my bike once.
If he pulls
See
up
how
the
fast
thing,
I was,
if
Judge.
he pulls up the statement of that he
So you-
stated all this, it's not in evidence.
So you assaulted an officer.
I defended myself because I was scared because he's a psychopath. I know I look leathery, so he probably thought I was a tire, and he was probably trying to deflate me. Look at
Oh, they
me.
even
I
said
know I look like
assaulted an
one,
officer,
but he
that's
got an
good.
I
obsession
need
with
a second,
tires.
okay?
I've seen him. He
Do you
goes
normally
around
swing
shooting
your-
tires.
Do you normally swing your hatchet?
Do I know
around?
how to swing my hatchet?
Objection, relevance.
What
He
else do
already-
you do with it, mate?
He already said he's swinging his hatchet around for, around his
No,
his
no, I
bike.
put it in the microwave
all right.
and just
Remember, if
microwave
there's
it so
an
glitter
objection,
comes off
try
it.
not
What
to
kind of
answer
dumb
it.
question is
Billy.
that?
Billy, stop. Just
I'm
let,
sorry.
let
What,
the judge
what,
rule.
what,
It's
you,
okay.
what else do you do with a hatchet? So, and someone tell me
Well,
what
he
else
did
you do with a
answer, so
hatchet.
I can't
Billy,
really
Yeah,
answer that
please.
question.
No, I use it as a bookmark, mate.
Next question, please.
All right.
Very
so
dangerous.
Next question.
Okay, now.
I don't got any more. Excuse me. I
That's
don't have
right.
no
It's alright,
questions.
it's alright.
No more questions.
No more questions? No one
Yeah.
on the prosecution has anymore?
Anybody else?
No.
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 Right. This has gone great.
I also used the hatchet to expertly take VHS cassettes out of my VHS cassette system at home. It's
Do we
ineffective.
want to
but I'm
highlight
very
any
good at it.
evidence or
Wait,
lack
can I ask a
thereof?
question?
Okay.
Lack of evidence, the fact
Yeah,
that
sure.
Are you aware that you have attempted 17 attempted murders of
When was
government
that?
employees?
That was
Yeah.
when I was mean.
Irrelevance.
So, I mean,
I
it's
was
not
just
even
curious.
that many, so yeah, we can move that. Yeah, we'll forget that one.
I used to be a
Billy,
cringe
don't
gang member.
answer that. Billy, don't
Billy,
answer that.
oh,
We've
shut up.
objected. It's been over.
You can trust
You
us.
could. You could.
No, no, I'm not. I'm
could.
answering. No, I'm not
You
answering.
could.
I'm answering it.
You could.
It's alright, so thank
You
you
won't
for
know.
your answers up to this point. We can drop that one.
No 38.
Alright.
17.
Okay, alright. I'm going to hit this gavel and then go think about this.
Cop
For a time.
Leon, or Cop Leon, as I like to call him.
Okay.
Cop
Lack of
laying
medical
on
report
floor,
would be what you guys are
Leon,
saying,
or,
right?
or cop.
there was
shoots
lack
at
of a medical
tires,
report.
Leon.
The statements were
I'm
apparently
gonna this corner
written
'cause they
in
like me more
haste
softer than
and incorrect.
Yeah, softer than
There
your soft
was,
head.
That's why we're ahead.
The
Well,
statements.
she's
were-
not letting us highlight evidence. She
Yeah.
just
Yeah, she just
went
went
into.
through it.
She just went.
Yeah,
and
yeah. She
started
just,
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm dunk, am I
She's
right?
had enough. So
Well,
I have no idea how this is gonna go.
hey, even that cop said that it was assault with a deadly. He said it when he was asking you a
Mhm.
question.
Yep, he did. He
So
said,
you know
where
things like
you
that
assaulted.
where they like create the doubt themselves because they're
Yeah, they could have said,
inexperienced.
"Did you?" Yeah, yeah.
But I also feel like
Fuck you.
the
Fat.
length
Oh,
of
it's
time
you.
this took and all the back and forth.
Shut up. You used to be my
I don't know how she's
protege,
gonna
and you turned
judge.
into my
you know?
notege.
Well, I feel like
I have a
I don't know how much she
feeling.
even heard because there was so much cross talk during some
Your
of it.
face is looking ridiculous
Yeah.
as ever. It's
I feel like
your
this is a
dad's
classic
stupid
case of
face.
too many cooks in the kitchen, and it was just a lot going on at once.
Yeah, and I mean, we have a lot over here, but we're here to learn. The cops are just, cop stacking over there.
I mean, they're pissed because they couldn't go out and chase
I don't-
people and do.
But
Well,
one thing
if
to
they
realize-
they'd been willing to change it, I mean, if they get the attempted murder instead of the assault with a deadly, they're only getting 24 extra months and $2,100 out of him. That's all they're getting for 3.5 hours of this court case.
Yeah, it
But I
wasn't
also
really-
feel like
they
it's a
really could have
principle.
just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what?
It's a principle of my fellow officer could have died. I want them to suffer the most. So I get it.
Right, but
Oh,
then they
no, I
bitch that they're
understand
that we're keeping them hostage here or whatever. They
It,
made
yeah,
a
it's
choice.
like, is your fellow
We-
officers, is that charge of defending your
Yeah.
fellow officer, making somebody pay, worth it? If you're going to complain
Yeah,
like
that-
this, then it doesn't feel
That
like
was
it.
relevant. That was relevant. That was relevant.
Exactly.
That was
He's got a
relevant.
point. It was
But the-
relevant.
They literally
The
said the city was
Very
on
relevant,
fire,
Aaron.
and then they stayed here with us for 3.5
Used to
hours
be in my
because they
gang.
couldn't
I'm
give
allowed
up
to. He never got
their
blooded
point
out
of view.
properly.
But the
I also
problem
never got blooded in
is
properly.
also-
Hey, I'm still a working judge. If you kick off and it gets violent here again, you're getting
The
contempt.
problem I have with that
I know,
narrative
Billy.
is that
You think he deserved it because of the way he looked?
even from the account that they gave, even if they want to backtrack and say, "Oh, we just did it in haste," the issue is your officer's actions.
Billy, I'm
is
allowed
what
to put
led
people to
all of
death.
this. Had
I was
he
allowed
not
to
done
put
what
people
he
to
did,
death for being
Billy
an
could have done
idiot. Can you
everything that he
imagine
did up
how
to
empty our
going-
streets
coming
would
back
be?
out of the vote. He could have done all of that the same. Nothing would have happened. None of us would have been here right now. It's the
Yeah.
actions of Colt Leon that escalated everything to this. He didn't have to go after his bike.
Wait, can't you just go to bed?
Yeah.
The fact that he just left that out, that he shot, he didn't even put it. He put it in after the fact. But the
Yeah.
shooting that happened before. Right?
Also, if he was really upset about the car door, he could have just put out a warrant for destruction of government property.
Exactly. And then the
He
other
didn't need to
officer,
escalate it to get to this point.
and then the other officer saying, "Oh, I saw them talking." You put, even if it's done in haste, the choice of word to use when something is fresh in your mind is usually the most
Good for
accurate.
you.
And altercation is what he chose.
Sorry.
I saw them talking and kept it going. And then he specified, when I saw him go into the thing, that's when the light was green and I went about my day.
Yeah, he had no fucks to
That-
give at that point. It
Because
wasn't
he,
that
they
serious.
weren't together, right? You looked
Mhm.
when there was an altercation, you paid attention, and then when they separated, you went about your business. The gunshots are what got you back there. So you come back, you see your fellow officer down, and you see somebody with a hatchet, and you're just assuming the hatchet is what did it when gunshots brought you there. Just there's so much that is what we know to be true, and they know it. So why would you let it come to this if you know bench trials can go for a while?
Stop being an idiot in the court. Oh, everyone!
Here they come.
Order in the court.
Billy, it's okay.
We are back. We'll get this thing over
Oh
with
my
so it doesn't get to 5 hours. How about that for you guys?
Let's do
Alright.
this.
Here's the bang of this thing, and I'm here. Alright. I could not be fucked to stand back there and write something, so I'm just going to kind of talk about this. After a long, chaotic case, Billy, I hear what you're saying, and it seems like this must have been a very frustrating situation. However, unfortunately, in reviewing all the facts of the case and your own testimony, it does not warrant your actions towards Coplione. So at this time, I will be finding you guilty of attempted.
What if it totally does? He shot me tire and he knows he did.
Unfortunately, that doesn't warrant
Evidence,
killing.
mistrial.
Hear me out here. If he had been shooting at you, that's one thing. But one, he's an officer. You could have easily made a police report and brought this into court. I can see how that would be very frustrating, but it just doesn't warrant you pulling a hatchet and then, well, trying to kill him with it.
What's this?
I understand.
No!
Unfortunately,
Change your mind. Go back in there.
Round of applause, man. You tried and you failed.
you did, and
Valiant
I feel for
effort.
you.
Beautiful.
Curse
But
these chains.
it just doesn't warrant your action.
Beautiful try, man. Very, very
Yeah,
happy
throw them
for you.
hands.
I'm bound by chains.
So that
Violence.
is well,
Try,
that's
man.
probably for the best. That
tried
is the ruling of this court.
You tried it.
It's up to the police to send you up now. It's up to them. Time served and everything.
Yeah.
And thank you to
And
the
you're all
officers
free.
for winning graciously and not trying to rub anybody's nose in anything. Thank you.
Lying in the reports,
Happened
clearly.
very slowly.
Conflicting statements and lack of evidence.
Oh,
They didn't take. They didn't take. They didn't take it because they know
I
that there was
believe you.
bullets in my back tire.
I believe that.
You
It's
I'll
still
get
unfortunately
content.
doesn't warrant you hitting him.
Fine.
Guilty.
All right.
Guilty.
And we are done.
Guilty.
There you are.
Guilty. Thank you.
You ain't at the end of
I
this,
just want to say
LeBone.
good job, guys. We're not annoyed with you.
Thank
It
you.
just
I'm so gonna
we're all a
shoot
little
every
bit
tire you own now.
out of
Every
shift right
tire
now,
you
and
own.
it's,
Oh, that's cool. I mean, even if you were annoyed at me, I would be like,
I
suck
ain't
it
scared
up,
of
Buttercup.
criminal
no,
tricks.
You
I
guys were
love
fine,
doing
but
like
Coplione
Injustice,
was
no peace.
not a
Yeah,
gracious
I can't
winner.
remember the
That's
song.
not cool.
oh, loud.
I told him as
Justice,
well,
no
don't
peace,
aggravate.
something in my feet. I got Coplione
Oh.
Hope
sniffing
you actually
my
heard
queef.
that, but
I mean, he got he
yeah.
did get hurt, so
He
shouldn't
did,
be in the best mood, you know.
yeah.
But honestly, as an officer who's seen many trials, how did we do? I mean, besides the rough stuff, but
I think honestly, a lot of good objections came in. A lot of
Nice.
good points came to the table. I think it was just a matter of too many cooks in the kitchen, which is not your fault. It's a class, so that's bound to happen. But I mean, overall, this whole bench trial was kind of a shit show, both from our end and just in general. A lot of evidence was missing because of the whole tsunami coming in very soon. So it was kind of, I mean, this whole case wouldn't have happened if Coplione was a professional cop. But sadly, we live in a city where cops tend to have a mind of their own and don't always do what they're supposed to do. So,
I understand that, but the lack of accountability for them is where I have the problem because nothing's going to happen to Coplione, and he's just going to go do
I will
to
say,
somebody else.
I remember you now. You're
No, I
the
will say,
officer
a
I
report
spoke to that
was-
day. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
A report was filed against Coplione, and it has been taken up by PBSO higher ups, and he will actually get reprimanded for that. It's not going to be as tough as an attempted murder of a government employee, but uh, it's been noted. Uh, I'm not PBSO, so I have no idea what's going to happen, but it has been noted. It's not falling through the cracks. So I think that's one good thing about Billy screaming in the cells.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate
Thank
the
you.
professionalism that both of you guys have shown today here in court
course.
and down in the cells beforehand. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I love
It's always
this whole law
appreciated.
class thing, so
I'm
it's
sorry I
good to
had to be
see
so
more
tough
lawyers.
on you. I didn't mean to, go at you that hard, but I'm trying to get good at this,
Oh, you guys.
We do have to do our jobs, but
Yep, all good.
there's really
I
no
wanted
hard
to come
feelings
over and just say you guys.
afterwards
Same thing. You guys did a great job. So.
on the
thank you
courtroom
so
floor,
much.
and I look forward to working with you both again in the future.
Of course.
Thank you guys and you,
Thank
all
you.
the new lawyers and stuff for everything today. You have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
You guys will
Thank
do a great
you.
job as lawyers.
It was a
in the
really good
city.
learning
Keep up the
experience,
good
I'm going
work.
to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, most bench trials don't go this way. Like I said, too many cooks in the kitchen. Once you're out there, it'll get better. So even if you think you did bad today, don't take it to heart. Just listen to feedback and actually learn from that.
Yeah.
We're
Thank
all
you.
learning as well. I mean, our prosecution was also, as stated in the beginning, a cadet. This was his first bench trial, so it's a learning moment for both sides.
Yeah, no, he did well for his first time.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just threw him in the deep, and we didn't really help him. So that was, I'm pleasantly surprised. So yeah, just pay attention to Grace. She's a very good lawyer, and then
thank you.
Good luck. I'm heading to bed. You guys have a good one, all right?
Yeah, I'm going to bed
Bye.
too. You have a
You
good one.
guys
Good
as well.
job.
Bye.
No, really.
Thank you, DOC.
He
Have a
is so
good
nice.
one.
That's after
Good too.
my case, he's the one that I was talking to at Ubu that told me all that stuff. That was really
Okay,
nice of
law
him.
school nerds.
Okay, what do you call this?
Aye.
Law school nerds.
Okay.
Law school nerds.
If you've got a chair, pull a chair up. Circle.
We don't have anything.
You don't have chairs.
I'm walking
We-
like
we
that.
don't have
Sit on the
anything.
floor, it should be clean enough.
I don't have a chair
Or
either.
not.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
stand.
or not. We gotta go right through here. We hope to all see you new lawyers at the prison speaking with your clients. Let's get out
It's
of here.
done. A verdict's been rendered. You are not bar certified, and thus you are not, signed up under regulation. You can talk to me about anything you need to talk to me about the client. So what I'm gonna say to you straight up is, the fuck just happened? Somebody explain it to me. Someone tell me what just happened, right? Because we had a discussion, and the last thing I said to you before was to remind you about reasonable doubt instead of getting lost in the sauce with whatever narrative the client was wrapped up in. So why did we end up in a trial that discussed a narrative instead of reasonable doubt? This was a criminal trial to assess whether or not somebody was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of a specific charge. It was a one-charge trial. Why'd it go so long? What happened?
There was a lot of discussion back and forth in the group about what questions should be asked. So we
Okay.
spent a lot of time, going back and forth about that, and that's where most of the time went to. And we did not some of the questions people were bringing up in the group were not really focused on what we were trying to fight at the time, or some people were getting distracted at the beginning. But we did focus up toward the later parts.
When are the later parts? When Billy started giving testimony?
Like right after Cop Leone,
Okay.
yeah. So it was about Cop Leone's part.
Okay, what was the strategy? Someone talk me through the strategy. Did you believe you had an opportunity to win? Did you believe there was a possibility to show enough doubt that he would not be found guilty of the attempted murder of a government employee?
After seeing the report, I felt like there was enough holes that could be pointed to that it would at least be seen that there wasn't enough, and that it should at least be, I guess, considered.
Okay. So you thought it was a shot in the dark. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else have a different strategy they thought would win that, or a different mode of attack?
Mine was just to focus on why
Could
he
you speak
did
up?
it.
I can't hear you. Ada.
Sorry. Sorry. How's that? How's that?
That's good.
lot
Thank
better.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought focusing on the injury, why it happened, and how he was injured, because what we were trying to do was get the attempted murder of a government official reduced. So I thought if we could look at the fact that he went after his arm. If he wanted to kill him, he could have gone for his neck. He could have gone for, actually something that would have killed him, but he didn't. And then the fact that he, by his own testimony, the officer, he shot meaning to shoot him, but he shot the tire instead. And in his own statement, he said that he attempted to come at him with the hatchet first. And then after he opened fire, that's when he got off the bike and actually got the hatchet to him. So all the other things that we wanted to kind of build up to kind of lead to that, I think just fell to the fact that there were too many of us and we all had a different way of getting there.
Yeah, we've got two very different strategies, right? One strategy is poking holes in a timeline, arguing reasonable doubt there, right? You just don't have it. The evidence and the timeline suggests there is too many inconsistencies. Thus, you failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the man's guilty of this charge. And the second one is an argument in mitigation, right? An argument where you're showing bits and pieces of information which, don't fully prove innocence, but what they maybe do is descale you to assault with a deadly weapon or assault and battery or something along those lines, right? Like, I see what you're doing, right? Those two strategies are probably not conducive together to getting you somewhere, right? And you see that, right? You can see that now, right? Because it gets confused. The narrative gets confused from the defense, right? And and even when you are purely trying to poke holes in something, you're still putting forward a narrative. You're still putting forward a story or a series of events that shows that your client could not, didn't do exactly what is being portrayed by the police, right? All of those things, right?
Also, Your Honor, it seemed like based on what we had in the police report versus what was said in testimony, particularly by Cop Leone, because he changed a lot of things in his direct testimony that were differing from the actual report, it made it very difficult for us to be able to continue with our narrative, but we had pushed forward with what we had. He literally
he expanded on it significantly, but
well, he said he got hit before and after with the hatchet both times.
It says so here as well. The suspect branded the axe and attempted to strike Cop Leone.
Attempted to strike is not the same as striking, which was the point I was trying to make. But then when I asked him the question directly, he said before and after. Well, attempting to hit somebody is not the same as attempting to kill somebody, which is what I was trying to go for.
And he was still on the motorbike. Oh, sorry. In that statement. I was just gonna say he was still on the motorbike in that statement too, which is different from
in the statement.
Miss Hart,
to take off on the
Can you
motorbike.
yell, please?
I am yelling.
No,
No,
Miss
me.
Hart.
Yes, of course.
Judge Hart.
Suspect then brandished an axe and attempted to strike Cop Leone and take off on the motorbike. So still, I believe the way that Cop Leone even said it, he was still on his bike when he brandished it and swung it at him, and then he got off and then swung it at him again. But the one thing that I was going to say was the fact that Tiger said that they broke contact with each other. Like, Billy went inside is what the statement was, but then Tiger then turned around and said it was a dynamic situation, and
I didn't
that's
put a
not
lot
what
of
he
stock into what he said, simply because if you read the specific part where I understand that the statements differed, so I did ignore a lot of that. But in the statement, it says that they went inside before any of this occurred, before any of the attack happened. So it really didn't, change much.
What did the client want? What did Billy want? What did he tell you? What were the client expectations? He clearly wanted to win, right? Because they all do. But did he tell you how he wanted you to argue this? What he cared about? What he was wanting out of this?
Well, it was more like we told him that he wasn't going to be able to walk away from this, but that at a bench trial, the judge does have the ability to change the charges to match the events more specifically. and that we were attempting to go with assault with a deadly versus attempted murder of a government employee. So we
Going
weren't-
to be real, I actively feel like you would have been aided a lot if the police had like accepted my proposal at the beginning to offer you like openings and closings. It feels to me like you had more narrative to argue here than evidence, right?
No,
And sometimes
that's-
having an opportunity to, you know, lay out a narrative would have helped. And with as long as this went on for,
I know. I was about to say that.
because they literally
Yeah.
denied openings and closings because of time constraints, because of the
Right.
city being on fire. But like flat out, there was no reason you could have had an opening and closing. And I feel like if you had openings and closings here, I'm not gonna like say you would have had a better shot of getting what you wanted, but I feel like the trial would have probably gone shorter because the back and forward questioning wouldn't have been needed as much to put your point across, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
everything
helps,
changes.
because I did hear a million questions and had no context how they clued in. I was very much trying.
I mean,
but it
halfway
was
through the
tough.
trial, it was a shit show, right? It was just wars.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Other things I noticed, right? Referring to the cop as a deputy, I'd have shut you the fuck down instantly, right? As a cadet, I would not have let that shit stand. In a courtroom, there's a couple of doctors in the room with us, right? Even if you're even if you are a junior doctor, a student doctor, if you kill somebody on duty, you are as liable as the longest serving consultant, right? Like there is no difference there. And it's the same for an officer when they're on the street. Even as a cadet, when they hit the courtroom, they are an officer or a deputy, right? Like we don't, and there's a reason we don't allow defense attorneys to refer to them as cadets, because it undermines their level of expertise, and it can be done in a very sly way to, you know, kind of tilt the judge in your favor, right? It's a tactical choice, but it's a shitty one. Right?
It could
So
have also
I'd
been
have
a
shut you the fuck down.
misstatement.
Like, it could have been, but I'd still shut you down, right? So just so you
Fair.
know, any officers who are in here get treated as if they are a full officer, right? And also, I would have shouted at the fucking cop for allowing somebody to do it, right? It wouldn't have just been on you
the
guys. It
cop
would have
very
been both
loudly said
sides.
he was one, so-
I know. Yep. And I'd have shouted at
Yeah,
him
that was pretty
too,
bad.
right? Yeah. I noticed both sides, so don't worry about that. Right. Ava, your first question, you sounded exceptionally nervous. Like I could hear the nerves. Second, your next question, you were much better. Yeah, you calm down. The nerves were there. First question. I mentioned it to Judge Law, and he heard it too.
Which was the first question?
Just the first question. You calmed down very quickly, but it was there, right? There's a difference when you are in here defending somebody than just speaking publicly, calmly in front of everybody, right? It feels different. Everybody else feel the nerves? Did you feel it? Did you feel the
No.
difference? You
Yes.
didn't?
I still feel it.
because I had
still
done
feel
this
it
before.
after a year.
I didn't
You
hear
were
it.
you were
He
very
was very quiet in the first
you were very
question.
quiet on the first question, and you weren't getting straight to the point. You kind of were breaking up your words and saying it and trying to
What
get
was
the
the
question
question
out.
again?
I don't remember what the question was.
I wasn't writing it down.
It was
Wasn't,
3
like-
hours ago, Ava.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was actually about the bike, because this whole time we were so like many of the questions were focused on the bike at the beginning.
Yeah.
And
But here's the thing. The point of this isn't that oh shit, look, you were nervous. The point is you got over it, and that's important, right? Like I'm really happy that I heard you get over it. Like even when the court case had lost the fucking tracks and we were off in the weeds, didn't matter, because I was still paying attention to like whether or not the nerves were still there, and they weren't. And I'm like happy about that, right? Like, it's a good thing. Shows you can get over it, because the nerves will come back every time you do something. The nerves come back. Got to get over them.
Yeah.
Got to get over them.
And if you're nervous, it's okay to be nervous, but fake it till you make it. I still get
Yeah.
nervous up there, but I would hope that at this point it's harder for people to tell with me because I have no practice.
Straight up, this is something I will talk about, and I've talked with Justice Adams about judges, right? Oh, he's giving the first verdict he's ever given. Listen to the nerves. It's important, right? We've got to pay attention. We've got to know if you're coping, if you're dealing with it okay, if the stress is too much for you, right? And if it is, come talk to us. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out coping strategies, right? I thought the questions showed that you were each on your own track. I thought Karen asked like a decent question. if everybody was on the same track of like poking holes in a timeline.
Yeah.
But it felt like a question on its own on an island that wasn't really going anywhere because it wasn't a cohesive defense, right? And that's a part and parcel of you all being like thrown in together and just thrown to the wolves, right? But some of this is, well, it's going to be a shit show. Let's see how you cope, right? And I felt like on the whole you did okay, right? But this wasn't a slam dunk, and I think everybody knows that. And that's not just because you didn't get the win. That is just because it became an incoherent mess at times.
Yeah, I kind of tried to guide everybody, but I didn't want to like take over. I wanted them to have the experience, so I tried to, add my 2 cents when I thought a question wasn't relevant or things like that. But I didn't want to railroad anybody, and I think that maybe the group needed that a little more. So I apologize for that.
Okay, so I was gonna say, just generally on, I'll give you the opportunity once I'm done, right? When we were discussing the defense you were putting forward, right, it ultimately turns into a stand your ground defense, right? Everyone's aware of that, right? That didn't skip anyone's notice. Everyone was aware that's what you were doing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll ask you the questions. I'm not trying to hide anything. This isn't a gotcha. I'm just trying to figure out if you're all on the same board. Because we're all talking about it, and we're like, oh, stand your ground. We're discussing stand your ground. We're discussing what might and might not. Every judge is going to read it slightly differently. Every judge is going to feel about it slightly differently, right? But I see what you were going for. I see why you were going there. I'm happy, right? This is what I'm happy that nobody got really fucking arsey about the evidence, right?
Yes,
there were
thank you.
mitigating circumstances, right? Things happened, right? Which stopped certain pieces of evidence being gathered, we all had those same issues that pulled us from MRPD, right? So
You'll definitely have that happen again.
avoiding that shit is the way we do it, right? We just sometimes it's gonna work for you, sometimes it's gonna work against you. We roll. We just roll, right? The way I explain this to the other judges or people I'm talking to, I literally had one the other day where an incident occurred either side of a tsunami, right? And then after the tsunami, they GSR tested the individual who'd allegedly shot a gun, and it came back negative. Now, would that be reasonable doubt in San Andreas?
No.
No.
No, because it's not reasonable in San Andreas. We live here. This is what we roll with, right? So rolling with that shit is the way forward. Please, please, please don't dwell on the bits and pieces of living in San Andreas that we shouldn't. And I'm happy that none of you did. And I appreciate that, right? Shows a level of maturity I wasn't expecting.
Yes, I know there was briefly a question from it, I believe from you, Ava.
Yeah.
It was, it was cleared up pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
I didn't ignore what it was going for. It just wasn't worth being the part focusing on. I definitely factored that into my decision still. Though.
Actually, honestly, the only reason I asked is I didn't realize that had happened. I thought the
I understand.
tsunami thing happened after all of that, so that's why.
There's some of this where you need to not just be paying attention, but read between the lines, right? Because no one's going to straight up say, "Oh, this happened," right? You've got to listen. You got to be paying attention. You got to be able to read between the lines. There's something about reading the courtroom, right? Reading the room a little bit, but also just try and pick up what people are putting down so they're not so blatant about that. It's hard. It's a skill. You'll get there. You all did very well with it today. Trust me.
I actually won't, though.
You will. Trust me. We all do eventually.
No, I won't. I can't.
You can't pick up the
soul. Fine today. You asked the question and it was clarified.
No, but I didn't.
Cycle back to it, so.
No, I wouldn't cycle back. But that reading the room thing, and I can't do that. I don't have that ability.
It is not just a thing you have or you haven't. It's something that you gain in experience, going through shit, seeing how things work, getting your own feel of things. It is not something that's just there or not there. I have no doubt that anyone can get that feeling and get used to what situations you're faced with.
Okay.
I heard something in this discussion here that we've been having, as well as
I think I was hearing it from you guys in your questioning. Do you guys know what the attempted murder of a government employee charge, what it says?
No.
No.
Do you? Okay, so even better. Do you know
I
the
read it to you
distinctions
guys
between
beforehand.
first-degree murder and murder of a government employee? Because that's the key distinction you want to learn,
Yeah, that's
right?
where I was getting to. Yes.
Yes.
Alright,
So
does
do you
anyone
know
know
there's a difference between those two charges? 'Cause there is a difference, right? Do you understand there is like actually like differing like burdens of proof to learn this?
Do I need to read them out? See if they catch up.
If you would.
All right. So, attempted
Yeah.
first-degree murder: the attempt to unlawfully kill another human without justification or valid excuse, with malice aforethought or premeditation.
Okay.
Attempted murder of a government employee: the attempt to murder a government employee. Following titles: law, LEO, EMS, doctor, judge, state attorney, mayor, PD, toad, PD dispatch.
Notice the linguistic differences there between those two charges. A whole ramble about malice of forethought, which is legalese for,
Plan.
intent.
Yes.
Right.
To further on that, the murder of a government employee charge simply says the intentional acts that leads to the death of a government employee.
You
Or in
do
this
something
case-
on purpose and it leads to somebody's death, right? Now,
And
that
in
doesn't...
this case would be the intentional act that could lead to somebody's death.
Well,
No,
this charge
swinging an
was
axe
the
is the one.
attempt to murder. And if they weren't attempting to murder, but just to protect their property, that's kind of what we were going for with this.
That's
I understand. I see the argumentation.
Right?
I
have
so
no
I-
idea as well, but the whole thing with the intentional act that could lead to it, right?
Basically,
That's
what
what I
I'm
was
saying is
trying to
intent
say
has no point here whatsoever. There's no proof of
He still
intent
swung it
required.
at him. He
You'll
could've
you'll
died,
very
yes,
you'll
yes.
very often have like prosecution cases where they're focusing on why they did it, how they planned it, all the little things of how it shows like forethought. It's actually not needed for murder of a government employee.
I think a lower weapon. I think I would have considered that more, but a hatchet, you can really kill someone with that.
Now, the next question I have, that anybody specifically in the class here, did you guys see a argument here for self-defense?
Can I answer your question? Because I've been trying to
was
elaborate on
thinking
that.
of one,
Yeah.
but
I did.
Go ahead,
without
Rail.
that.
Let's
Can
hear
I
from
please
Merlin.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Rail.
go ahead, Rael.
Thanks. So I think I realized the mistake that we did pretty early on before we should have continued, which was him pleading guilty to the evading. He should have pled not guilty, so he could have opened that scope and highlighted the bike more, because the bike was the main reason he did that to begin with, and trying to prove that it was not an attempt to murder him, but an attempt to defend himself.
That's an interesting idea.
I realized that midway through. That's why my line of questioning was more shot, because I was trying to approach the bike perspective and then led on to the self-defense part, but I couldn't highlight the bike because
Can you
it was
explain
already dismissed.
why you think this could be considered self-defense?
Because he shot tires out and he tried to defend himself.
And does shooting the tires out qualify for
He
self-defense?
was trying to protect his property.
Well, that would be more stand your ground than self-defense.
Well, self-defense
Which
is the stand your ground legislation.
Right, but it doesn't just have to be yourself. It can also be your property, which is why
So,
I'm making the distinction.
what other things would he have done for this to qualify as stand your ground?
Wait. Okay, stand your ground. A person can use force to defend themselves or the associates in their vicinity and their property when they actually and reasonably believe that they're in danger of serious bodily harm or death or theft. Right now, there's no accusation that Coplion was going to steal the bike, right? So, can you articulate a reasonable belief of serious bodily harm or death in this instance?
Yes.
That's the argument.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Because if someone's so fucking deranged to be out front of a bank shooting at your vehicle, it's fairly reasonable to feel a threat level there, right?
That's actually an interesting concept with the fact that he pled guilty to the evading, because it is, I mean, if he had tried to contest that and I don't know, gone with an angle that maybe he in some way was trying to inform them, which is the other part of stand your ground.
Mm.
You know, he could have tried something there, but
But it's but even that, right? Even the evading. If you plead guilty to evading, then you are evading
Now
a
you haven't stood
lawful
your
reason,
ground,
right?
yes.
Yeah, right. So, but if he's fleeing because he's at risk of his life, that's not evading, right?
Yes, that's different. So you're not
There,
wrong.
there,
Pleading
there
to that
are
really
lots of
didn't help.
legal distinctions happening here each step of the way, and
Right.
every single one of them is important.
The problem was that when he was down in the cells with the police there, he was talking and talking and admitting to a lot of things. And then it wasn't
Welcome to Billy Sprinkles.
So there, yeah. But from the perspective of self-defense, him saying that he attempted to shoot him, but just ended up shooting the bike just because he basically missed, that's his own testimony. And it goes in line with what he was saying about fearing for his life. So, and he even said that he didn't actually make contact with him, brandishing and raising it up like and even hitting the vehicle, the police car. That was done because he took space and could get out and shoot from there. He thought that's what's going to happen. He's from the south side, so that's what his experience was. So he acted on that, and he hit the vehicle, and then attempted to get on his bike and leave. And that's when he started getting shot at.
It's hard, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because the reality is you really have very little right to self-defense from the police, right? We're not going to
Yeah.
protect that legally unless you can also show that the police were acting outside of the scope of their employment, right? Like and it's some kind of like, bad faith engagement, right? It's like there's a very distinct line there that's hard to cross to show that somebody should have the right to defend themselves from the police.
This is one of those things that I often had to preach as an attorney, right? And a lot of people in this town don't get it. They never will. Sometimes people need to understand how to be the victim of a crime, right? Because it's you have to consider the actions of a reasonable person as a judge when you're deliberating too. Now, if this entire scenario stops with Billy Sprinkle not pulling a hatchet, not running up to Copleone, and not doing anything, and it's just a shot tire, damn, that sounds like a pretty meaty complaint. Sounds like you can push a civil case against Copleone. You can make a client a lot of money. It's the continuing actions and the just like we have to consider things like qualified immunity for cops when they're if they're acting reasonable or in line of their training. We have to consider reasonable actions as citizens as well. Emotional reactions are one thing, and we understand that things are heat of passion crimes. But second-degree murder is a charge because murder isn't acceptable just because someone pissed you off.
If you look at this in if you look at this in like different little snapshots of time, right? Billy Sprinkle pulls an axe and starts swinging it. Anywhere in the city, someone's pulling a gun, shooting him in the head, right? Like,
yeah,
and reasonably so. Like, just little snapshots of time here, like swing wildly. Who looks like the victim and who looks like the aggressor?
But can you not also articulate that Mr. Sprinkle is not an expert of axe swinging and he could just miss blindly and not intend to try and hit him, and then articulate that you could, after Mr. Copleone shot his tires out, then he would try to stand his ground.
So it's funny you bring that up. There's actually the People v. Brickshaw King included an individual swinging a bat not in the direction of an officer and then being shot down by that officer.
Civil cases, Brickshaw King versus Den Shiesty. If you want.
Sorry, I got the name wrong. Yes,
yeah.
Brickshaw King versus Den Shiesty, and that was the case that Judge Grayson here used to sever or to breach qualified immunity in the first.
Or establish at least understandable guidelines for it.
Yeah,
right?
Yes. Just a basic principle, a two-step test, right? Which is very easy to follow. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. There's so much wild shit on the daily in San Andreas. These guidelines have to be very easy to understand. Because the more complicated we make them, the more shit falls through the cracks. Did anybody have any active feedback for these guys? Like y'all sat and watched this, and I think feedback's probably important.
Yeah, I have a few things. What's up, guys? I'm Judge Law. I don't think I met you guys yet.
Oh,
But
hey, Leon,
Your phone is ringing.
your phone is ringing really loudly through your throat.
Kind of feel like I'm gonna have his Spotify rap as well as mine.
I might go hide in a bush. This is much longer than I intended to be here. You guys have a good one. Great work, everyone.
Bye, Adelaide.
Question I have is, do you think that Sprinkle was happy with your representation?
Yeah.
Did
And
he
we
get
lowered
what he
reckless-
wanted
we-
out of this?
We lowered reckless from reckless to evading, which was good. And the main point of the bench trial was to try and leeway into a silver suit by having assault with a deadly and evading, and having a guilty plea to it, and then leading to the other case that was gonna bring up in the silver case, which was Mr. Copleone mistreating someone in the cells that we witnessed in front of us. And I was gonna highlight that person as well as a witness and try to sue Mr. Copleone. That was the intent.
am I good now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you want to ask a question first? Or is your hand?
Oh yeah, I want to say it felt like Billy wanted a 6-lawyer clown show where he got represented by a hella people, and then he could make a big thing out of it, and that's what he got.
That is true. Okay, so
He
as I
also
was
didn't
saying,
really have anything to lose by us going to the bench trial
Yeah.
because we had asked about the assault with a deadly and the officers weren't interested. So his options were to either go up to prison or try to get a judge to agree that it was assault with a deadly instead of attempted murder.
I mean, your option then would be full appeal, right? Do you think a full appeal would have changed this before Judge Law gives you some feedback? Do you feel like a full appeal where this goes to the docket, you have time to assess evidence and get more evidence would have fixed this?
Doubt it because of the
Because of the specific
attempted
issues
murder.
of today. I think actively the specific issues of the day, which may no more evidence is coming, wouldn't have helped you today, right? I think it was always going to be an
and
issue,
how the charge
right?
is written.
Plus, it's also difficult to know at the time when you haven't seen what the police report is, whether or not to make the decision to wait for an appeal versus going for a bench trial. So it's just one of those things
Yeah,
where
there's that too,
I
right?
think we could have possibly, based on how the reports came out, that if we had done an appeal, however, they might have had more detail if we'd waited for an appeal versus a bench trial, because they would have had more time to work on their reports and think about it. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because you don't necessarily know what you're going to have to work with until you get here.
Okay. So as I was saying, I'm Judge Law. Nice to meet you guys. So I'll give you some general things. Obviously, like one of you said, there was 6 legal aids or whatever. Obviously, it's not going to be as coherent, but in bench trials, sometimes in general, but especially in bench trials, having a singular main focus of what you're trying to display to the judge is really important, because if the judges are having a hard time following what's going on, it makes it more difficult for them, more difficult for you, more difficult for everyone. And just keep in mind, there's the prosecution is supposed to prove generally 2 things. To use the actual formal terms, it's actus reus and mens rea. The first one is the actual act has been done, and the second one is the mind state of the defendant, or this criminal intent. If you can poke a hole in one of the 2 of those, you will create reasonable doubt. So keep in mind if one is weaker than the other, and if you one is more the facts of what happened, and one is the intent of the defendant in question. So poking a hole in one of those 2 is important. Obviously, you can create confusion with officer testimony and things like that as well, and if their story just doesn't make sense after they testify, that is another way to go about it. But try to frame the way you want to defend somebody on poking a hole in one of those two elements. And also, as the defense, there's the mitigating circumstances, which is, in this case, it would be something like self-defense, which you can, they did do it, but they had a valid reason to. Those are like the three things you need to think about. When it came to, there was an objection at one point for speculation. I think it was early on. It might have been sustained, but realistically, if I think it was asked, I think someone asked Cop Leone if he thought Billy was angry, and there was an objection for speculation there. Generally, when it comes to speculation, a question like that is fine because the speculation doesn't really apply to something somebody would have personal knowledge of. Like if somebody is there, you're asking them what they personally believe. You're not, and the defense did the prosecution did a very poor job of like rebutting because they tried to bring up like his experience as an officer, which has nothing to do with just your general, common sense human experience that you would have. And then when it comes to relevance, make sure if you think people are getting too off track, and outside of the scope, either outside of the scope or just too off track, or asking similar questions, or if a point is just keeps getting brought up over and over again, you can object to either asked and answered or relevance, because a lot of things I feel like just kept going on and on both sides. People just asking similar things to each other. Just try to make the bench trial make sense for everyone, whatever you're going for. Keep it as focused as you can.
There are a multitude of objection-like cheat sheets going around. I know basically every lawyer has one. If you don't have one, if nobody offers you one, I've got a million of them, right? Just if you need that, use it, right? Sometimes it's not even about having like the meanings and understandings. Just if you've got a list of them in front of you, you can kind of see what's happening. Like it's up to you. If you
Does
need
anybody
stuff,
not have one?
Me.
Okay.
What's your state
yeah.
ID, Karen?
44015.
Okay, 1 second. And same for everybody else. I'll do the same for you. Just let me share it to Karen.
Yeah, like sometimes a cheat sheet for objections will help you, right? Just so you can see what they are. But yeah,
Who
like I
else?
said, like I said to you a million times,
46573.
only object when it tactically makes sense. Don't object just because they come across, right? There's a bunch of times where like 5 of you objected at the same time. That's just overexcitement. I'm gonna be real. That's what that is.
Yeah. Do I need my phone?
No, I could share it to you without your phone.
It's sharing it
cool.
to you permanently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I would say my state ID, but I don't know it by heart.
Okay,
mine
Ava,
is
what's your
Should
state
still be
ID?
in your pocket.
31531.
Oh yeah, I have my ID. Never mind.
48072.
31531. Was that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rael, what was yours?
48072.
And I'm sorry, I don't recognize the person, the woman in the black next to Ava. I don't know your name.
Dr. Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Okay, like I've had you for most of you, I think most of you now for probably close to 9 to 10 hours, right? Over the course of the week. Literally, other than more of this and some mock trials that Carlson's trying to arrange, right? We're like literally trying to do this. All I need you for now for the next couple of days is just a one-on-one chat, right? I want to know who you are, why you want to do this. Like, get ready for a job interview, right? That's your prep work. Get ready for a job interview. Come and sell yourself to me. Tell me what you want to do, why you want to do it. We've given bar licenses to people who've done way less than you already. So like, you're putting in the
Like
work,
me.
you're putting in the time. I mean, look, we made you a judge and you've done less work.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I'm sure you can see by the questions Judge Law's asking you, there's a reason for that, right?
Mm.
Like, he gets it. He is more than capable of being here. And the reality is, once you're lawyers, I mean, if judge elections ever return, you'll be applicable to apply for that position too, right? Like, first things first, though. First things first, we're going to put you on the track to being able to do cell reps and, bench trials and just learning this. And some of that's going to be involved with just asking the right questions and knowing where the information is or the people to ask when you don't have the answer immediately available. So, have you all at least dug into the MDW out in the lobby and looked at the penal code and the legislation?
Yes.
Not recently.
About
Okay.
70%.
I don't need any of you to have read it all. I know judges who haven't read it all. I don't need all of you to know, say, the mask mandate in and out. I don't need all of you to know anything in the legislative body. I don't need you to know the Constitution. I just need you to know that it's there. So if you get a case that requires you to go looking, you know where to look, right? Or at least you know who to ask to point you in the right direction, right? So if I say to you medical discontinuity, is that in the penal code, which is the list of charges, or is that in the legislation? Do anybody?
Legislation.
Legislation.
100%, right? Same with the Rust Act, right?
Yeah.
Things like that you will find in legislation, not in the penal code. You just kind of need to know where to look for things. That is the greatest skill any lawyer can have. And it's not about knowing specifically where things are. It's just about knowing how to ask questions and where to look for information. Any law student ever will tell you you're basically a researcher. Right? There's a certain amount of just knowing where in the library to go and look. Our library is all basically in the MDW out there, or once you get a bar license in the MDW in your back pocket. Right?
Yes.
Good.
When you get a bar license in any jurisdiction, most of what you do is research.
Yeah, that's the job generally.
Yeah.
Here, most of the job's talking to people, which I feel like you're all going to be fairly decent at. I'm not worried about any of your interpersonal skills, which is a good
I got
place
a
to
husband
be.
from being here.
Okay, Ray. Okay.
I'm worried about his interpersonal skills.
I would regret that one.
That was awesome.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions for me after today? Anything like got you worried? Any actual like?
I do, but I'll talk to you.
You
one-on-one
can
with
talk
that
to me
one.
privately. Absolutely. If you've got things you want to talk about, absolutely, no problem.
Yeah.
If you would rather do this one-on-one, like questions, like all you have to do is drag me to one side, right? Like at any time, either now or tomorrow. It's like straight up, basically from here on out, as I said, other than more of what you just went through. And, maybe if it's going to be in smaller numbers or whatever, like whatever it is, throwing you to the wolves a little bit with like actual bench trials with some mock trials where it's going to be a bit more lighthearted and a bit more organized than today, hopefully. Specifically with, police cadets offering, prosecution and you focusing on what you do. Yeah, like I think that'll really help you guys. And to be honest, even after we conclude law school and we put names forward to get bar licenses, I think it might be helpful to continue to push some mock trials for a couple of weeks to get you experience and get you up on your feet, right? This literally isn't going to be like we're yeeting you out of the nest and if you don't fly, you die. I'm not going to do that to you, right? Like there will be help. That's not the way this works. It's not just like yeet you out and if you go splat, well, it doesn't matter. I would like all of you to become attorneys. I would like all of you to enjoy being attorneys, and I would like you all to still be attorneys in 2 or 3 months. That would be amazing. But yeah, got questions? Ask them. If you don't have my phone number, I'm in the app. Go phone me when you get your phone from outside. Save me. Have my number. Text me. Right? It will be fine. If you want to talk to me anywhere else, it's very easy to find me. Okay? Need anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to you now. but
You want to talk to me now? Okay. Everybody else, got it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Run.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Or don't. If anybody else needs to talk too. We
Okay.
I actually got a question, like quick one.